Alright folks, welcome to Not So Stock Gaming's Semi-Pro Tournament for December 6th. Looks like we have 15 teams participating this evening. We have only one team with a bye into round 2. Team First Sense a little bit lucky in the sense that they get to start in the quarterfinals, but a little bit unlucky in the sense that they're going to have so many matches concluding before they get to play, and it is only the first 8 teams to lose that make their way into that secondary bracket, and we do have over 12 teams participating this evening, meaning that we do have the secondary bracket occurring for you guys. Taking a look at this bracket, looks like we actually have only 7 round 1 games, so we will still need to wait for one round 2 game to conclude before that secondary tournament can be released for you guys. So again, all teams that lose in round 1, as well as the first team to lose in round 2, assuming that there are no disqualifications and no teams don't show up to play this evening. I believe we have picked a round 1 game to stream this evening. Asked in Twitch chat who wanted to be played in Dynasty, said, "Hey, we're here. We're returning victors. Why don't you start with us tonight?" So I said okay. So our round 1 match is going to be Team The Dynasty versus Disaster. We'll see how this round 1 match goes. I do have my invite into that lobby. Again, guys, this is a Not So Stock Gaming semi-pro tournament. We're starting up with round 1 here. Looks like we have 4 rounds of play leading into the finals. And again, the first 8 teams to be defeated will make their way into the secondary bracket tournament. That tournament is for 8 teams, meaning that you will start in the quarterfinals of that event. Again, guys, round 1 of play coming up here. We have 7 round 1 games, a total of 15 teams participating tonight. We're going to have Team The Dynasty and Disaster as our round 1 game. For anybody not aware of how the Not So Stock Gaming stream works, we do pick 1 game per round, more or less at random for round 1, and then we follow the winners of that game into the next round of play, then the winners of that game into the next round of play, until we make our way all the way into the finals, where we have the top 2 teams for the evening. And of course, do not forget that once you get to the semi-finals of our event, you are guaranteed some form of prizing, but whether you win or lose that semi-finals matchup, you do have 1 more game to play. The winners heading on into the finals matchup, while the losers head on into the bronze match to determine the 3rd and 4th place placements. Also looking at this lobby, waiting on 3 more summoners from both teams, but as we are still 1 minute to the hour, it's technically 1 minute till games can even get started. Again, guys, tournament games are allowed to begin at 7 p.m. exactly. That is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right now, and must be started now within the next 15 minutes. Teams not able to find their 5th summoner or simply not showing up at all after the 15-minute mark can be disqualified. You are free to report a win against opponents who do not show up. Alright, looking at the lobby, it looks like those were invite names going up from ND Tsunami. A little bit of humor in the Twitch chat. Afiva thinking that he was potentially chanting some sort of empowering song before the matchup started, but no, just listing off his team names. Sorry, teammate names. Again, guys, we are heading into round 1 of play here for Not So Stock Gaming's semi-pro tournament. We do have 15 teams participating this evening. Our round 1 game is going to be Team Dynasty versus Team Disaster. Team Dynasty is going to be on the blue side for this matchup, while Disaster plays from the purple side. Looking at this round 1 game, 2 fairly highly ranked teams coming in here. I'm seeing all diamond summoners so far, though we are still missing 1 summoner from both teams. Again, guys, we are going to be watching Team The Dynasty versus Team Disaster, the D matchup in our round 1 game. All matchups do occur concurrently for round 1 at the very least. As the bracket updates, once you have 2 opponents showing in the bracket, you have 15 minutes to get that game started. So depending on exact match conclusion times, we may have matches occurring in round 2 as well as round 3 at the same time, depending exactly how fast they conclude, where things line up. But more or less, games do occur concurrently and all at the same time for each round. Getting reports reports that one team may be attempting to field a Master or Challenger tier summoner tonight, as this is our semi-pro event. We do only allow summoners between the Gold and Diamond rating, that is Gold 5 to Diamond 1. So that summoner will need to be replaced or their team will be disqualified. For anybody not aware, we have been considering allowing the Masters tier into the semi-pro events, as the Masters tier is more or less all those summoners who were trapped at Diamond 1, not quite able to get into Challenger, and of course they're still trapped, not quite able to get into Challenger, so it's just a pool of summoners being eliminated from events who previously would have been participating. So it is something we have been considering. If you guys want to give us your opinions on that, we would love to hear them. Also, still waiting for one more summoner in the lobby at hand here. Looks like Team Dynasty waiting on Daspug. No, Daspug, a member of Team Disasters. My apologies, guys. I thought I had these team rosters down, but not quite yet, it appears. Also getting reports that somebody may have checked in and somehow been omitted from the bracket. We've not had that happen in quite some time. I'm not, unfortunately, seeing that check-in. We'll check our spam and junk folders just to make sure. No, not there either. May have, unfortunately, been a glitch with the check-in. You need to fill in all those forms for it to go through and us to know who is checking in. Again, guys, our round 1 game here for our semi-pro event tonight is going to be Team The Dynasty versus Team Disaster. And I apologize, I've not been looking at Twitch chat for the last couple of moments. Let me go back over the chat going on here. Someone reporting they're not on the bracket. I believe that may be Batman in my client as well. The same team, I should hope. Hopefully not two teams somehow missing the check-in tonight. Also, Liam is stupid saying, put us in, coach, we're ready. Which team are you on? Are you guys all on the same team? Did you guys potentially try to check in and not get the acceptance message? There's a little display after you click that button confirming that you have checked in successfully. For anybody not aware of the secondary bracket, I'm getting a question about that in my client. It is for the first 8 teams losing the event, so that will be all round 1 games. That conclude as well as one of the quarter-final games as well. Having that team that does lose make their way into the secondary bracket tournament. We will have 8 teams starting themselves off in the quarter-finals. That meaning 1 win will guarantee you some form of prizing for the night. Of course, the main event is where most teams want to be, making your way to the finals, and first place does mean you've been undefeated throughout the entire event, whereas in the secondary event you did lose your first or potentially your second game, depending on the exact size of the event. Alright, looks like we have our 10th summoner into the lobby. Ready questions coming out from the blue side here. Again, guys, the blue side will be Team The Dynasty, with the purple side being Team Disasters. Looks like we are heading into champion selection. You're looking for the bands to come out here. And it looks like after one ban, which I actually did not quite see, we've had somebody dropping out of the champion session. A little bit of a connection issue here, potentially. Looks like a couple of teams tonight were not aware of the check-ins or had the check-ins not go through for them, which is always an unfortunate situation. We have two teams now waiting to get themselves put into the tournament if we do have teams that don't start their matches by 7:15. So if your opponents do not show up, they are not able to get their 5th summoner by that 7:15 cutoff for round 1 games to start. Please report your wins against them, and we will swap in new opponents for you, giving them, let's say, 10 minutes to get that matchup started with you. We would traditionally allow a 15-minute period, but as it is a swap in after a full 50 minutes have passed in order to keep things on schedule as much as we potentially can, we're going to get those matches started as quickly as we can. Of course, no shows reported yet, though one team potentially needing to field a substitute, replacing their Masters tier summoner, which is not allowed in tonight's event. Alright, we are back into champion selection here, seeing Soraka quickly banned out by Team Dynasty. Also, Jace will be banned out by Disaster, followed up by a Janna ban. Coming in from Team Dynasty, the banning of the supports has begun. We saw Janna banned out fairly consistently last night, as well as a few Soraka bans as well, though the banning phase tended to focus more on the junglers, with Warwick, Pantheon, and Jarvan 4, as well as Fiddlesticks being banned out fairly consistently, though last night we did get to see some fairly impressive Fiddlesticks play as well. Apologize for my silence there, guys. Just dealing with a couple last-minute admin issues coming in. We are seeing Kha'Zix now banned out again. The banning of the junglers. Warwick will be banned out by Team Dynasty as well. Questions about joining the secondary tournament. The tournament is reserved for the first 8 teams to lose their matches, so adding teams in that failed to check in on time would kind of be unfair for those teams that do play their first match in order to qualify into that event. It is intended for potentially the lower skilled or lesser lucked teams in order to get themselves a little bit of RP or potentially participate at a higher level next time they come out with a better champion pool, a few more runes, be able to focus their IP where it's really needed. Also, we are seeing bans finalized here. Morgana being the last ban for Team Disaster. Gnar has very quickly been locked in by the summoner, the Elite Troll. Also, we've not seen Pantheon banned out of this game. He will be selected by Zekum, as well as Thresh getting locked in here by Exel Trinks, handing things back over to Team Dynasty. We are seeing Lee Sin and Nami hovered over. The Lee Sin has actually now been locked in by Raise Them Dongers. A little bit of a tribute to the Heimerdinger there. And George still waiting to lock in this Nami, or potentially swap that out for a different support, though Nami into Thresh is not a poor choice for Team Dynasty. Nami is still being hovered over here. Alright, the Nami has been locked in, handing things back over to the purple side. Remembering that purple team for this round 1 game is Team Disaster. And the Tsunami and the Pico will quickly select those champions, choosing not really to bait us with their hovering, seeing what they could have potentially swapped in for. They quickly lock in the Aurelia and a Lucian. Our top lane is going to be Aurelia into Gnar with a Lucian Thresh bottom lane pair for Disaster. I believe that Pantheon will be their jungler, though he is still a capable mid laner. I believe Daspug will be selecting a mid lane champion for Disaster, while AE Fiva has just locked in Orianna for the Dynasty. Also seeing Graves now hovered over by the Pieman. I apologize, by Call Me Pieman. We'll see if Graves end up making it into the bottom lane for a Graves Nami bottom lane pair coming out of Team Dynasty. And the Graves has now been locked in, so we're going to have a Graves Nami bottom lane pair for Dynasty with Orianna in the mid lane, Lee Sin in the jungle, and Gnar as their top laner. That is a huge amount of utility for Team Dynasty, as well as a rather large amount of damage. Orianna and Graves being quite bursty, Lee Sin capable of dishing out a fair amount of damage as well, and Gnar never to be underrated. We have seen Twisted Fate, though, now locked in for Team Disaster. We will have a Twisted Fate in the mid lane with Aurelia in the top lane, Pantheon as their jungler, and a Lucian Thresh bottom lane pair. A little bit of Wife Steal lane in the bottom lane for Disaster. We'll see if that turns into a disaster, or if the synergy between Lucian and Thresh can be worked out there. Again, that Twisted Fate in the mid lane, Aurelia in the top lane, and Pantheon in the jungle. They have large amounts of damage as well as huge snowball potential. A decent amount of tank coming out from the Thresh, potentially Aurelia and Pantheon building off tank as well. We'll see how this round 1 matchup progresses. Again, guys, this is Team the Dynasty on the blue side with Team Disaster on the purple side. This is the D matchup in the bracket. We do have 6 other round 1 games which are needed to be begun in the next 1 minute if they have not already gotten themselves into champion selection. Remembering, folks, that if your opponents do not show up by the 15-minute mark, you are free to report a win. Also seeing a few more questions in Twitch about how, or can you still check in? Is it too late to check in? Unfortunately, check-ins do close at 6:45. That was half an hour ago, in order for matches to begin between 7 p.m. and 7:15. Again, only 1 minute remaining for all round 1 games to be started. Looking like we have about 2 minutes of spectator delay remaining here, meaning we have already gone through that 60-second period where summoners are able to finalize their runes masteries and their summoner spells, as well as trade around champions should they need to. Looking like, again, we do have Gnar versus Aurelia in the top lane. Both those summoners opting for the Teleport Flash combination for their summoner spells. Junglers are going to be with Smite Flash as well, a fairly standard pick for the Lee Sin and the Pantheon. In the mid lane, things are a little bit different. Orianna opting for Barrier and Flash. Of course, Flash is standard, and Barrier is a fairly strong pick for the Orianna champion. And Twisted Fate does have Ghost, and Flash is going to be a fairly aggressive kit for him, though Ghost and Flash can both be used offensively or defensively. We'll see exactly how this Twisted Fate uses those skills. I expect he's going to be roaming quite frequently throughout this game. In the bottom lane, we're going to have Nami with Exhaust, while Thresh has opted for Ignite. Both of those both those summoners opting for Flash. We are going to see Flash on every summoner coming in this game. Again, not having Flash really puts you at a disadvantage. Seeing it on every summoner is not uncommon at all. About 30 seconds now remaining of the spectator delay, meaning these guys are now onto the Rift. In a few more short moments, we will be making our way into the load screen, where we get to see the skins and trims from both of our round 1 teams for the stream this evening. Remembering, folks, that this is a Not-So-Stock Gaming semi-pro tournament, where summoners must be ranked between Gold 5 and Diamond 1. In the solo queue, seeing mainly Diamond rosters coming out from these two teams in our round 1 matchup. Again, this is the D matchup on the bracket showing on my screen momentarily. Wait for that load screen to appear, and then we're going to be into load screen. Come on, load screen. Again, guys, round 1 game is Team The Dynasty versus Disaster. Alright, here we go. League of Legends. Show me those skins and trims. Getting reports I may be a little bit quiet in Twitch chat. If anybody else has comments on the volume ratios here as we get ourselves into game, if game sounds are louder than me, I'm too much louder than game sounds, let us know. Also, check your PC volume, make sure that you're not just turned down a little bit too much as well. Alright, so heading into this load screen, seeing all of them with their diamond trims from Season 4. Nobody making their way into the diamond tier in the last 3 or 4 weeks since the season's ended. Again, guys, we are on patch 4.20. Those jungle changes are into effect. This was our round 1 game for Not-So-Stock Gaming's semi-pro tournament. We have Team The Dynasty on the blue side facing off against Team Disaster on the purple side. Alright, we are now loaded into our game. Champions coming on to the Rift here. Blue side has completed their item purchase as well. Purple side has done the same. We are going to see all 5 champions from both teams making their way onto the bottom side of the map. Somebody is thinking about an invade here. Also, while we get this invade set up, apparently I'm going to get the scoreboard reorganized for everyone as well. Looks like that should do it again, guys. It is Gnar and Irelia in the top lane, but Thresh has entered the triangle, but she is going to stand on to a ward. The distance will connect, but Thresh will go down. First blood going over on to Lee Sin. As purple side fails an invade, Lucian will go down. That's a double kill for Lee Sin. He will be quite happy, picking up 700 gold while handing over 2 assists onto all of his team members. That is a very strong start for the Dynasty. We're going to see all 5 members of the Dynasty recall after that fight, potentially pick up a few quick starting items here. Should see people picking up at least one of those 300 or 400 gold items, though it looks like Sport, I apologize, those assists may not have given them quite enough gold, seeing them with only a 50 gold lead over Team Disasters, while Lee Sin has picked up a huge 700 gold. Thought those assists would have been worth a little bit more than they were, but the gold being split between all 4 of those champions has hurt their ability to purchase additional items, though seeing them not even pick up a ward or a couple extra potions may be a questionable choice, saving that gold for after their first back. Blue team now setting up potentially for an invade of their own here. It will be a 3 versus 4 fight. Twisted Fate waiting in the wing. Orianna coming in a little bit late will make it a 4 versus 4 play. Purple side ward is going to spot out the invade coming in from the side. Lee Sin onto the Grom camp. 3 members of Team Disaster going to connect onto Lee Sin. Lee Sin down to about 50 feet. The Ignite will come out. I believe Lee Sin will be going down here, but the health potion taking away, keeping him healthy. Twisted Fate comes in from the side, and that card will be enough to finish him off. Lucian getting fairly low here, while Nami is just below half HP. That was a heal coming out from the Graves. Graves down to 50 HP. Graves will go down as well. We've now seen a kill score evened out between these 2 teams. Team The Dynasty playing that one a little bit too aggressively, and Nami with a tiny bit of a misstep there will lose her life as well. We go from the Dynasty with a very strong start, a huge lead, having almost a 1,000 gold lead before the buffs came up, going for a strong counter jungle play, yet themselves shut down, now down 3 kills to 2, are down about 600 gold. Seeing everybody get into the lanes, Gnar has picked up an early advantage over Aurelia, seeing Aurelia take a huge amount of pressure from Gnar, who is fairly empowered at this early point of the game, being the lane bully that he is, and Aurelia being her weakest before her first back's going to be action into the bottom lane as well. Thresh taking a bubble there after connecting the death sentence on to the Nami. Lucian and Thresh looking to get as much pressure into this bottom lane as they possibly can. Graves has not managed a single farm yet, though he did go down in that counter jungle attempt. Would be just getting himself back into lane, while Lucian and Thresh were into the lane from the very beginning. Graves playing this one a little bit from behind, but does a great job clearing out that wave of minions, stopping the turret from stealing last hits from him. Now only down 2 farm under Lucian. Bottom lane has more or less evened out. Looking at the mid lane, we are seeing Orianna with a tiny advantage over the Twisted Fate, while things have also evened out in the top lane. Aurelia looking like she may have used a hell potion into the boomerang. Will connect, she comes back in, looking for as much farm as she can, has picked up a slight advantage over the Gnar. Looking at the goal score, we still have that 500 gold lead in favor of a Team Disaster Dynasty, looking to turn things around, even out that kill score, maybe pick up an early advantage once again, though we are nearly 5 minutes in the game, or not quite even 5 minutes in the game, I should say. We have seen a huge amount of action already, and Gnar potentially overextending here against the Aurelia. Will jump himself, I was going to say to Sage, but Pantheon coming in for the first gank of the game, maybe too much for Gnar to handle. Lee Sin also coming up for the counter gank. Gnar makes his way back towards the Lee Sin. Lee Sin now coming in, hops onto the Gnar. Aurelia also fairly low here, but Lee Sin misses Q on to the Pantheon. Pantheon looking to make his escape here. Aurelia is going to reconnect onto Gnar. Gnar down to 200 feet. The flash comes out from the Aurelia. Gnar making him, he flashes himself to safety. Boomerang will connect onto the Aurelia. Lee Sin will re-engage, gets the kill on to Aurelia. Now we have a 3-4-3 kill score, while Pantheon jumps away onto him, and Lee Sin looking to reconnect onto Pantheon. Pantheon at 150 HP, but Lee Sin will take a turret and not quite be able to seal the deal on Pantheon as well. We have now seen this game evened out. A 7.8k gold score to 7.8k gold, with 3 kills apiece for both of these teams in round 1. However, Aurelia comes back in on the Gnar, and Gnar will go down. Lee Sin also with 400 people. He's going to possibly take down the Aurelia here as well. She makes her way not towards the turret, but towards the Pantheon. Lee Sin actually falls off of that pursuit, knowing that Pantheon would have potentially had enough strength to finish him off. Whether or not it was before he picked up the kill on Aurelia is debatable, but Lee Sin makes a great call there, not entering into that fight in a 2 versus 1, but Gnar has teleported back up in the top lane, and Lee Sin is still in the wing. We could see huge action into the top lane. Aurelia looking to recall from behind that top lane outer turret. Gnar will land a boomerang. Aurelia looks to recall once again here. Lee Sin still waiting in the wing. Gnar will take it hurt. Lee Sin looking to advance onto the Aurelia. Aurelia will cancel her recall, make her way back towards the outer turret, having sat a little bit farther behind it than potentially she would want to do. There's going to be action into the bottom lane, though, as Thresh lands the Dissolution, coming full ham onto Graves, but Thresh is getting very low as Graves focuses down onto the Thresh. Thresh about 50 HP remaining, flashes himself to safety. The Graves looking to refocus on Lucian, getting very low himself, picks up the kill onto the Thresh, but will go down for his efforts. Lucian now focusing on Nami. Nami with about 200 people remaining. Lucian will dash back into range. The poke coming out, Nami with 50 HP. The heal coming out from Lucian for the speed buff, takes 2. 3 turret as the poke comes through onto Nami, and is not quite enough to finish her off. That is a huge misplay by Lucian in the bottom lane, allowing Nami to even out the kill score. Looks like Gnar is going to disengage from the top lane, looking for a little bit of vision control here, potentially. And we've not seen a whole lot of action in the mid lane, though. Orianna does have roughly a 5 farm advantage, but is down by 2 kills under Twisted Fate. Not quite sure who Twisted Fate picked those kills up on. Would have been in that early jungle fight, I believe, when the blue side came in for the Gromp camp from the Pantheon. But there's going to be action in the melee as well. Pantheon and Twisted Fate look for one more kill onto the Orianna, are not quite able to dish out the damage that they need. Maybe more action in the top lane as well. Here's Aurelia re-engages onto Gnar. Gnar taking a little bit more pressure than I would expect a Gnar to in that top lane. Aurelia quickly becoming a powerhouse after her first back. Seeing both these champions reaching level 6, like mid lane is level 6 as well, while the bottom lane and the junglers are going to be level 5 here. No, Pantheon has reached level 6, while Lee Sin is still level 5. We'll see if that leads to an early advantage. You're looking for an ultimate gank coming in from Pantheon before anybody realizes that he has reached level 6, and while I've battled on, Aurelia has done a huge amount of pressure onto Gnar. Gnar sitting at about 400 HP in his Mega Gnar form. Aurelia will disengage that fight, though. Gnar looks to continue farming while Aurelia goes for a little bit of a vision control, dropping a sight ward into her top lane. Tribush Lee Sin spotting out a sight ward in his jungle will quickly clear that out from the bush behind the mid lane outer turret. Not quite spotting out the one place in behind his red buff. Will go for his red buff, not being spotted out by another. And here's the Pantheon gank we were looking for. Nami not quite getting caught out, but that has her ultimate available now. Gets Pantheon caught out, but is not quite enough to stop the advance. Graves will go down. Nami taking a huge damage. The calling comes out from Lucian, and that will be enough, but Thresh actually manages the last hit on that kill. We'll call it support kill secured. Seeing now a 7-5 kill score. Team Disaster has picked up nearly a 1,000 gold lead in this game and is looking to set up for their first dragon of the game at the 9-minute mark here. Lee Sin and Orianna are in range to contest. Lee Sin will be collapsed on. That's going to cost him his life. Now an 8-5 kill score, as well as this first dragon potentially going to be able to go down uncontested even with Orianna in range. She's going to head herself back towards the mid lane, not even try to come back in after watching Lee Sin go down as quickly as he did to the coordinated assault coming through from Team Disaster. Once again, guys, this is Team The Dynasty on the blue side with Team Disaster on the purple side. This is the D matchup in the bracket, and speaking of the bracket, I've not posted that into Twitch chat all that recently, so I will get that done now. Of course, by the time you hear me saying that, you've already likely seen it sitting in Twitch chat, as there is roughly a 30-45 second delay between what I say and what I do into that chat. Seeing where I just missed her ball on to Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate was sitting with full health and full mana in the mid lane. Looking at their farm so far, they are fairly even, but Twisted Fate is 3-0-1, or of course with a 0-0-2 kill score, has not given up either, or any, I should say, of those kills onto the Twisted Fate. We are seeing Graves with 3 deaths so far, as well as Nami going down twice. I believe 2 of those were in the bottom lane without assistance, while we had Pantheon as well as potentially the Twisted Fate roam into the bottom lane as well, though he may have picked up that kill in the mid lane, as well as their early game counter jungle attempts coming in from Team Dynasty. And while I felt on, we've had a Gnar re-engage against Aurelia. Aurelia will re-engage against the Gnar. The Gnar disengages that fight, knowing he's potentially outgunned in the top lane right now. Seeing Aurelia have her down about 20 farm to the Gnar. She does have 1 kill, while Gnar has 3 assists. Looking at the goal score, he has roughly a 300 gold advantage. Lee Sin also waiting in the wing here for a gank into the bottom lane. Thresh lands the death sentence on Nami. Lee Sin will ward hop in the queue. Not yet coming up from Lee Sin. Will connect onto the Lucian. Lucian getting ultimated back into the Nami Graves here. Nami has gone down though. Lucian and Thresh still alive here. Lucian will go down as Thresh picks up a double kill. I apologize, that was Graves going down. Lucian making his way out of that fight with his life, and Pantheon ultimately saves to pick up the kill onto Lee Sin, making that a 3-4-0 trade in favor of Team Disaster. Looks like they're not as much of a disaster as they may like us to think, but they may be a disaster for their opposition. Of course, Team Dynasty claimed to be a victor from previous events, said, hey, we're the champions from last week, we're available in round 1 to stream, why don't you start with us? Looks like they may have met their match even in round 1, but of course we are only 11 minutes into this game. It's still fairly early. We'll see if things swap up as we get into the mid and late games. I imagine the Dynasty has a few more tricks up their sleeves. Aurelia engages onto Pantheon in the river, seeing Nami come out from behind the bubbles, will connect onto Pantheon. Orianna might have enough damage to finish the Panther, but she will pick that up and goes down as well, though going to be an exchange of the jungler for the mid laner in that bottom lane river fight. And while that was occurring, we see Lee Sin engage on to the She picks up the kill onto Aurelia in the top lane. Now a 7-4-13 kill score. So that first turret has gone down. 2 Team Disaster pick up the first dragon as well, and now picking up their second turret of the game. They have a 2-4-0 turret score. Apologize, there's been some action in the bottom lane while another turret has gone up. This turret going over in favor of the blue side. Also Gnar coming into the bottom lane here is going to do a fair amount of damage. Picks up a double kill for the Graves as Aurelia actually teleports down into the bottom lane as well. Thresh and Lucian having it's going to be a 3-4-1 exchange, this time in favor of Team the Dynasty. Pantheon looking to pick up the kill on to Lee Sin, though hops onto me, and that will get him in range for a spear onto Lee Sin. But that bottom lane outer turret has gone down. To an advance coming in from the Graves and the Gnar pair. Pantheon looking for some pressure onto that top lane outer turret as well, while the bottom and mid lane outer turrets have gone down. From Team the Dynasty, they have now taken down the top and bottom lane outer turrets from Team Disaster. The game is slowly evening back out here. We have a 2-4-2 turret score, though the first dragon and 5 additional kills over what Team Dynasty has picked up have gone over on to Team Disaster. That is a 15-10 kill score and a 1-0 dragon score in favor of the purple side. Twisted Fate and Thresh will clear out the Scuttlecraft here, looking for a little bit of vision control around the Dragon Pit. Graves and Nami will clear out the Krug camp here, looking to get Graves a little bit of additional gold and potentially a little bit of additional experience, scaling him a tiny bit better. As we get into the mid-game, a sweeper comes out from the Nami and they will clear out a Sight Ward, placed down in the bottom lane, a Tribush on the blue side of the map. Gnar going to keep farming in the top lane while Aurelia looks for some roam here, seeing a ward come out into that top lane. Riverbush pings coming out onto Lee Sin behind the Dragon Pit. 45 seconds for Dragon to come back onto the map. We could see both teams vying for some Dragon control. Seeing some action into the mid lane here. Gonna have a 3 versus 4 fight in favor of Team Disaster, but Aurelia goes down, make it a 3 versus 3 fight. No, going to be a 5 versus 3 fight as both other team members from Team the Dynasty come in. However, Pantheon comes in from behind and will eliminate Lee Sin, looking for a kill onto Orion as well, but he goes down to the Graves. Going to see 2 summoners from both teams go down in this fight. Ends up being a 5-for-5 fight. All summoners from both teams being involved in this one. Thresh looking for a little bit more, connects the Death Sentence onto Gnar, will get the Flay as well. Lucian comes in from behind. Gnar could go down. However, Thresh and Lucian both go down as the Nami comes in from behind, assisting Gnar in that fight. Seeing the second dragon of the game now go over to the purple side as well, and Lee Sin will go down again while trying to contest a dragon play from the purple side. We saw him try and contest the first one and quickly get a lead this time. He survives until dragon goes down, but does go down as well. Apologize for my silence there, guys. A little bit of an admin issue popping up in our Twitch chat. Looks like we have a Team Disaster setting up for a play into the top lane here. While Oriana is looking to pick up her blue buff for herself, we have 4 members of both teams in the upper half of the map. And the Team fight will ensue in the blue side of the map. In there, Travis, the Vision Ward is down from the purple side. We're going to have 5 members of Team Disaster in this fight, but Lucian as well as Pantheon have now gone down. Orianna picking up a double kill, rather getting very low as well, gets the stun on Lee Sin, may escape that with her life, but Lee Sin will pursue. Twisted Fate also running for his life, taking a huge amount of damage. Thresh going down, only 50 HP, attempting to get out of that fight. Graves coming in a tiny bit late there, or from behind, having somehow got there, pursuing the Thresh. And that's going to be the 3rd turret for Team Dynasty. They have officially come back into this matchup. Looking at the scoreboard, we have them with a 3,000 gold lead, where they were previously down by 3,000 gold. The kill score has gone from 15 to 10 in favor of Disaster, now to 19 to 18 in favor of Team Dynasty. They are also 3 turrets to 2, though Team Disaster has picked up the first 2 dragons of this matchup. We could see another team fight breaking out here. Yes, Twisted Fate will be locked down by the bubbles. Lasagnas comes out, keeping him alive through this engagement, at least for a few seconds longer. Twisted Fate will now go down. Nami getting very low here, will go down as well. Going to be a 4 versus 4 fighting in the Flay coming out from the Thresh, stopping the advance from Team Dynasty. A few more moments, but not quite long enough to prevent Orianna from picking up a double kill, as both Irelia and Thresh go down. Lucian barely escaping that fight with his life. Pantheon also down below half health. We're going to see the inner turret go down from Team Dynasty. From Disaster. Team Dynasty now looking for the inhibitor turret as well. 5 more seconds for Irelia and Thresh, though Twisted Fate has just come back onto the map. This will be a successful inhibitor turret at the pre-20 minute mark. That is an impressive push coming in from Team Dynasty, and Twisted Fate coming in a tiny bit early there will go down. Irelia coming back in as well. Orianna gets locked down by the Pantheon. Orianna will go down in that fight as Pantheon picks up a double kill. Flay coming from Thresh will connect on to Miz Lantern, also being tossed up for a little bit of a shield. Nobody in range to utilize that to get themselves back into that team, but we do have all 4 members of Team Disaster still alive on the map. Baron also just spawning. We have Pantheon and Lee Sin in the pit. Thresh and Irelia also coming in. Baron now on the map as we have reached that 20-second mark. Animation starting a few seconds early there potentially. Apologize for my silence there, guys. Quick admin issue once again. We've seen a double kill. I believe that was in favor of Team the Dynasty. Baron now being heavily contested is down only a quarter of his HP, but we're going to see a 3rd kill going over on to Team Dynasty, while they have only lost their Lee Sin in this exchange. The Graves and Nami have both gotten very low. Orianna and Gnar are free to continue this engagement. Gnar going to begin taking some turret hits there, gets the boomerang hammer on to Thresh, while Twisted Fate is also in range still. Alright, looks like blue side is looking to defend their mid lane here, while the purple side is looking to farm out a little bit, get a little bit of pressure relief from their mid lane as well. Going to have both teams looking to either lock up this mid lane or get more pressure here. We have had Team Dynasty take down all of those mid lane turrets, meaning that inhibitor is exposed, so Team Disaster is not going to want minions anywhere near that inhibitor, allowing Team Dynasty to either split push down onto it or potentially backdoor it as well, though whether they are minion or not, they could have somebody attempt to backdoor it, and with Graves and Lee Sin as well as the Gnar on their teams, they could be successful doing so. It does not seem like they've had that incentive quite yet, and with 15 seconds until Dragon comes back up onto the map here. The Baron not quite going down yet, though both teams did look to pick it up as it came up onto the map. Dragon now up in about 5 seconds. We are seeing that animation starting. Lucian is in the pit, will initiate. Dragon will begin to attack the site. We're looking to get vision control of the Dragon, so his team can secure it. We have 5 members of both teams in the bottom half of these jungles. All blue team members are now in the river, while purple side has retreated onto their side of the map. Looks like Team Dynasty does have a little bit of the upper hand in a 5 versus 5 situation. Thresh gets a death sentence on her, but takes a fair amount of pressure for her on throwing the ball and utilizing it to do as much damage as she possibly can onto the Thresh, as well as a little bit of damage on to Pantheon. Dragon now being initiated here. The team fight will ensue. Thresh will go down. We've seen Pantheon go down as well, but Orianna has gone down. It's going to be a 2-4-1 exchange. Leeson being chased down by the Gnar. Gnar picks up a triple kill. Will that be a quadra for the Gnar? No, the kill for Twisted Fate will go over on to the Graves. There will be no penta for Gnar in this fight. I believe Dragon has not gone down, but blue team, having just picked up 4 kills, will make their way down to the mid lane, ignoring those minions, looking to secure this inhibitor for themselves. Going to get that inhibitor down so they can spawn some super minions into the mid lane and look to potentially end this game. They are 5 turrets to 2, 30 kills to 24. It is a 45 to 38 kill goal, so that is a 7,000 gold lead at the 23.5 minute mark in this event. They were down early on around the 15-minute mark. They have come back and are powerhouses in this game. We'll see if Team Disaster can re-coordinate this, or if this is the disaster they were talking about. Purple side looking to release some pressure in the mid lane, as blue side does now have those super minions spawning. Thresh and Fate getting minions back towards that mid lane inner turret, while Graves is there to defend it and relieve any sort of pressure. Orianna has just picked up a blue buff for herself, while Lucian has picked up a red buff for his team. Leeson makes his way towards the Baron pit, looking for a little bit of vision control, I believe. Baron not being initiated, but the purple side is in range to do so, or initiate back onto Leeson. The Death Sentence will come out, connects onto the Scuttle Crab, though, as opposed to the Leeson or the Orianna, who were in range. Their Graves now in range for a team fight. Gnar and Nami coming in a little bit late, as well as Aurelia coming down from the top, and we could have a 5 versus 5 situation looking to break out here. Lucian, Thresh, and Twisted Fate looking to get as much damage onto those super minions as possible, clearing out that minion wave before the remainder of Team Dynasty comes into range. We do have all 5 members of Team Dynasty looking to siege down into the mid lane here, though Gnar and the Nami will split off into the bottom lane, where minions are towards the mid portion of the lane, looking for a little bit of pressure there, potentially looking to pick up this bottom lane inner turret. Going to be a fairly strong rotation coming out from Team Disaster, so we have all 4 runners ready to make their way into that bottom lane. Of course, Nami, Orianna, and Graves, as well as the Lee Sin, are in the lower half of their jungle. Thresh throwing the Essence will not quite connect onto Nami nor Graves, who were both in range there. And great juke coming out from both champions from Team Dynasty. So will connect onto Nami this time. Nami might be in trouble here, but her ultimate will connects onto both Pantheon and the Thresh, stopping their advance, while Lucian does not quite get into range, avoiding the Namion. There is pressure onto this bottom lane inner turret. We have all 5 members of Team Dynasty in range. Turret down to half HP, down to a quarter of his HP. Gnar and Nami barely avoiding some turret hits there. Poking out from the Twisted Fate will not quite be able to connect. The ball goes on to Graves. Graves looking to be a strong ball delivery service, but is not going to enter the front line here, while Lee Sin goes for a little bit of counter against Panther. Panther trying to wrap around in the jungle will stop that initiative sweeping coming out from the Lee Sin. Thresh throwing the Death Sentence connects it onto Nami. Once again, Thresh following up as time the flake comes out, the box comes out, the culling coming out from Lucian. Gnar taking a huge amount of pressure there, but Gnar is quite beastly. That's going to be 3 kills. Going over onto Team Dynasty, Twisted Fate utilizing the Zhonya's at the last moment. Will keep him alive for 3 more seconds, but he does go down, as well as a double kill for Graves, while Oriana also picks up a kill on Twisted Fate. Somebody else picking up a kill in that fight as well. We now have all 5 members of Team Dynasty sieging down onto these Nexus turrets. The first Nexus turret has gone down, and Supermans are now onto the second Nexus turret. They no longer need to face tank this turret, and the Nexus will now be focused next on the Nexus will go down. That is Team Dynasty emerging victorious from round 1 of play. Going to take a look over at the bracket, see if any other matches in round 1 have yet concluded. Looks like Teemo or Feed defeated Murachan Noodles in their round 1 game, as well as Feed Me Please defeating Team Bayanates. We now have Abe Nagu and also defeating Team Annie's Tea Party, while we just watched Team Dynasty defeat Disaster. Dusty Tools has also now just defeated Team Finding Summoner's Rift. We had 2 wins only a moment ago when I opened the page, watching these update in real time. Looking to see the winners of the Irreversible Impact versus Kitty Poachers game, as they will be playing against Team Dynasty in round 2. The bracket is not updating, but I've just seen it update. You may need to refresh your page if it's glitching on you. It should update in real time for you, but occasionally there are some issues with the Ajax or JavaScript or whatever you want to call the technology that does handle updating your browser window behind the scenes for you. Again, guys, that was a round 1 game we just saw between Team Dynasty on the blue side and Team Disaster on the purple side. Team Dynasty did emerge victorious, meaning they're making their way into the second round of play, while Team Disaster is heading on into the secondary event, along with these 4 other teams who have concluded their round 1 games so far. Again, that is Annie's Tea Party, Murachan Noodles, Victoria's Secret, Bayanates, and Finding Summoner's Rift, all qualified into the secondary tournament so far tonight. We also have a Team Disaster as the 6th team qualified and waiting for Irreversible Impact and Kitty Poachers to conclude their matchup. And then we'll have the winners of that game playing against Team Dynasty, while we'll also know the 7th team qualified into the secondary event. Alright, looks like Team First Sense does need to utilize some substitutes this evening. We can't allow them to field substitutes into their roster as we can for anybody. For anybody not aware, you can let us know in Twitch chat, though we do prefer if you email us when you're requesting roster changes so that we have a record of those requested changes. Alright, we're going to report Dynasty's win onto the bracket, as they have not yet reported their win. Looking like Pyman asking, do we need to report it? Since you watched it, I'm not the one technically handling the bracket right now, but I have just updated that 1 win. Going to let our admin team know not to update them into the semi-finals by accident, thinking that their round 1 win is a round 2 win, seeing them already sitting there. Apologize for my silence there, guys. Also, since we are waiting, we can take a quick look and see who is on the Kitty Poachers. Do I have X Covert on my friends list, so we can catch the end of this game while we wait for the winners of this game to be determined for the opponents of Team Dynasty. Our next game scheduled for the stream to be ready. Again, guys, for anybody not aware, we pick a more or less random game in round 1, and then we follow the winners of that game following into the next round. Also, questions we should about when the secondary tournament starts. They're asking if it starts at the end of round 1. At the end of round 1, we'll only have 7 teams qualified into that event. We will need to wait for 1 round 2 game to conclude as well. But as soon as that 8th match concludes, we will release the bracket for the secondary event for you guys, and you'll be free to start those matches. Of course, having only 15 minutes once the bracket is released to get those matches started. We'll do our best to keep you posted about where the status of that is at. Again, we have had now 5 teams 6 teams qualify into the second event, waiting on this match we're currently jumping into to conclude for our 7th team, and then the first round 2 game that concludes, we'll have that team added into the secondary bracket as well, and the secondary bracket will be ready to go. Alright, going to take a quick look back at the bracket to see who we're watching here. It's going to be Irreversible Impact on the blue side with Team Kitty Poachers on the purple side. The winners of this matchup will be playing against Team The Dynasty in round 2, while the losers will be the 7th team qualified into the secondary event. Taking a look down the scoreboard here. Before I do so, I'm going to get it reorganized so we know where everybody is playing. I believe Zed will be in the mid lane while we have a Corki Sona bottom lane. For Team Irreversible Impact, looks like Rumble is their top laner, and Vi is going to be playing from the jungle. For Team Kitty Poachers, we have Gnar in the top lane with Lee Sin as their jungler, Orianna in the mid lane, and a Lucian Janna bottom lane pair. Almost surprised to not see Janna banned out in this game, though, with Vi and Lee Sin as junglers. I suspect that Pantheon and Warwick, as well as potentially Fiddlesticks or Jarvan 4, were all banned out during the champion selection phase. Again, looking at that scoreboard, seeing a 24-16 kill score. So far, that kill score in favor of Team Kitty Poachers. They are up 5 turrets to 4 with roughly a 5,000 gold advantage. We are at the 33-minute mark in this game, so having only a 5 kill spread as well as a 1 turret difference is not a huge lead for these guys. 5,000 gold at the 35-minute mark is again not all that significant. Going to call this one a fairly close game, seeing 2 dragons on the blue side so far. Have not yet caught the scores on the purple side. For that, we're going to have an engagement. As Zed engages onto Lucian, Lucian will pick up that kill. Ignite goes onto Lucian, but is not quite going to have enough damage to finish things off. They're also looking at this one. He has 2 dragons as well. Looks like the dragon score so far is even, but Vi comes in and will pick up the shutdown on to Lucian. Now a 25-17 kill score. That goes to be a 1-1 exchange. You can definitely listen, but will miss, and him and the Orianna will fall off of their engagement. Once again, guys, this is Team Irreversible Impact on the blue side and Team Kitty Poachers on the purple side. This is our last round 1 game still underway. We're waiting for this game to conclude, so we have an opponent for Team The Dynasty in round 2. Our other 3 round 2 games, that is the quarterfinals of tonight's main event, are currently either getting themselves started or already underway, as all of the round 1 games have concluded so far, meaning we have those 3 round 2 games with 2 opponents showing in the bracket. They are allowed to start and should be starting. Again, just Team Dynasty waiting for that one last round 1 game to conclude. Will it be Irreversible Impact or Kitty Poachers making their way into that round 2 slot, and the opposite making their way into the secondary tournament? Again, guys, the winners head on to face off against Team Dynasty, and the losers will head in the second tournament. We're going to see huge action here as FBI picks up the kill on to Janna. Zed comes back in. Orianna getting a nicely placed ultimate, I believe, but Orianna getting very, very low here. Rumble picks up the kill on to Orianna, but Rumble will go down. It's going to be a 2-4-3 exchange here in favor of a Team Kitty Poachers, making that a 4-4-3. This could be an ace, will be an ace, as Lucian picks up a double kill onto Sona, and there is an exposed inhibitor in the mid lane. Lee Sin and Lucian looking for their first inhibitor of the game here, potentially, or looking to take this back down. I'm not quite sure if this inhibitor has respawned recently or has not yet gone down, as we normally enter this game around the 30-minute mark. That will be a successful inhibitor for the Lee Sin and Lucian from Team Kitty Poachers. Again, guys, Team Kitty Poachers on the purple side with Team Irreversible Impact on the blue side, seeing a 34-20 kill score so far in favor of Kitty Poachers. They're also up 5 turrets to 4 and have just taken down that mid lane inhibitor. Looking for their 3rd dragon of the game. Will give them 1 dragon over their opponents, who have 2 dragons at this point in the game. Again, that is 2 dragons for Team Irreversible Impact. They have picked up 4 turrets and 20 kills. 30 kills, 5 turrets, and now 3 dragons for Team Kitty Poachers. Looking down the scoreboard at the farm numbers, in the top lane, Gnar has managed a 25 farm lead over Rumble, though he does have a distinct kill and assist advantage. Rumble potentially struggling again a little bit against the powerhouse that is a Gnar in the top lane. In the jungle, Vi has done a little bit better than the Lee Sin. Lee Sin evening out the KDA with Vi for the most part between his assists to her kills, though she has doubled his deaths, meaning Lee Sin is performing a tiny bit better. She has about a 50 farm lead on him. Looking at their gold scores, she is actually up about 2,000 gold over Lee Sin. In the mid lane, things have been very even as far as farm is concerned, but Orianna, sitting 11 to 13, has a very large kill participation for her team, while Zed is sitting at 2 and 5 with 8 deaths. Is not going to have quite as much gold as the Orianna, seeing him with a 3,000 gold deficiency under her. In the bottom lane again, things are fairly even as far as farmers, but Lucian has picked up 10 kills and 9 assists, while the Corki has only managed 4 kills for himself so far. We're going to see action into the top lane as Rumble quickly goes down to a 4-man assault. Looks like Zed is waiting in the wing, looking to escape this fight with his life or contest a potential Baron play. Coming in from Team Kitty Poachers, seeing this Zhonya is coming out from Soap on the Orianna, and Orianna will come out of that looking like it's going to be a double kill for Lucian. Orianna somehow surviving that fight with her life. Lucian looking for a 3rd kill here, but will take a Sona ult to the face. Going to fall off that pursuit and initiate on to the Baron right here. And that's going to be some GG well played coming out. That is a 38-minute surrender from Team Irreversible Impact. They're going to be the 7th team qualified into the secondary tournament tonight, while we're going to be heading into our round 2 game. That game will be between Team The Dynasty and Team Kitty Poachers. Alright, who do I have from both of these teams? I believe I just had 6 covert from Team Kitty Poachers. And Team Dynasty, I do have Call Me Pieman. There we go, sending a message to both teams there to let me know when they're ready to go. Going to be heading into our round 2 game here. This is the quarterfinals. The winners of this match will be guaranteed some form of prizing for the evening, as they will make their way into the semi-finals. And once you get to the semi-finals, the worst you can place is 4th place. And the 4th place team gets 800 RP for each of their final 5 competing summoners. 3rd place goes home with 1,600 RP each, while 2nd makes 2,400, and the 1st place team goes home with 3,200 RP, as well as a triumphant Rise skin for each of their final 5 competing summoners. Of course, we are only in the quarterfinals right now. We have 8 teams remaining. Looking for my invite into this J matchup on the bracket, the matchup between Team The Dynasty and Team Kitty Poachers. There we go, having an invite from both teams there. Looks like we have both teams in the lobby. It's technically Team Dynasty's job to do so. Going to head over to the correct lobby here. Tell them to move themselves into it as well. As I type without clicking the window. Alright, apologies for my silence there, guys. Getting a question about the secondary tournament. Someone asking, do we have to play in the secondary tournament? No, you really don't have to. But with only 8 teams competing, you only have to win 1 game to get some form of prizing for the evening. If teams do no-show or forfeit from that secondary tournament, we can add in the 9th or 10th teams to lose, depending exactly how many teams are put into that situation. It would be extremely unfortunate, though. I do see how it could be poor for some teams. Losing that first game, morale is down. You're like, I don't really want to start a second tournament right now. But It's the secondary event. Everybody else is in that situation too. Everybody has just lost one game to get there. So you're going to be against 8 other teams who have just lost their round 1 or potentially their round 2 game, depending exactly how large the tournament is. Again, tonight we do have only 7 round 1 games, so the first team in round 2 will also make their way into the secondary tournament. Again, once that first game concludes in round 2, we will be releasing the secondary bracket for you guys, and that is a prized event as well. The first, second, third, and fourth place teams getting the same prize package as we give out in the primary event this evening. Alright, looks like we have all 10 summoners now into our lobby. We have a team, the Dynasty, on the blue side. I believe they are the victors from last week. I guess I should probably verify that, as it was a claim made by them, and I do have a record of our tournament winners. Let's see if I can find these guys playing in last week's semi-pro tournament. I don't have them as victors from last week's semi-pro. What's going on there? I have Capacity 14 as the winners. Maybe they played in the open bracket. Take a quick scroll down here. No, again, not seeing the same summoners there. Going to look for one of these summoners' name. They did place first on the 15th, so 2 weeks ago. Not the very last week, but 2 weeks ago they did play and place first in a semi-pro event. Looks like our last week's event was won. I'm going to take a quick look at those summoner names once again, see if I can figure out which team it was, without having to make my way all the way back over to those previous event pages. Here we go, 28th. 28th was not the semi-pro. What was the semi-pro last week? Would have been the 29th. Last week's semi-pro was won. IS Capacity 14 and his crew. I do forget their team name, but they were apparently a pug team, a bunch of very skilled team members, though. They came in and did very, very well. It was only an 8 or 12 team tournament, though, so only 3 or 4 rounds of play, much like tonight's tournament where we have 4 rounds of play. But we are going to be into our champion selection for round 2, so I shall end my tangent about our previous events. We have confirmed that team, the Dynasty, has previously emerged on top of a not-so-stock gaming tournament, so we'll see if they can be knocked out before the finals round. Of course, we are currently in the quarterfinals, and this is going to be Team Kitty Poachers looking to do just that. The winners of this matchup will be heading into the semi-finals of tonight's tournament, while the losers may make their way in the secondary event, but with 3 other quarterfinals games already starting, I suspect one of those teams will be the lucky 8th participant in the secondary tournament tonight. Also a little bit of Dusty Tool hype in the Twitch chat. Looking down these rosters, I'm not seeing Dusty Tool at all, so hype for another team there, potentially. Also, I've somehow babbled through the banning phase here. We've had Soraka, Orianna, and Pantheon banned out by Team Dynasty, with Warwick, Kha'Zix, and Swain banned by Team Kitty Poachers. Jace has been locked in by the lead troll. I believe he played Gnar in the last game, but Jace is another very strong top lane pick. Janna and Aurelia will be locked in for Team Kitty Poachers. We saw the lead troll play against Aurelia in round 1 and do fairly well. We'll see how his Jace does compared to his Gnar. Also, Lucian will be locked in by AE Fiva, while Raisin Dongers hovers over a Lee Sin pick, which he played in round 1, but will also show us Kayle as a potential champion. Also, a brief note for you guys that as we get into the spectator delay period, I will be taking a quick break, but as we get into the load screen and back onto the Rift, I shall return, as this is the second round of play, and we have a Team Dynasty facing off against Team Kitty Poachers. I would not want to miss that. Again, guys, this is Raise Them Dongers looking to lock in a Kayle, or potentially swap it back for Lee Sin at the very last second, but Kayle will be locked in here for Team the Dynasty. Now we have X Covert and Grug N looking to pick up their champions for Team Kitty Poachers. Alright, we see Sarath and Vayne hovered over for Kitty Poacher, but the Sarath will be swapped out for a Jarvan 4 pick here. Still not yet locked in. We'll see what they choose to finalize here. Girvan swapping out the Vayne for an Ashe pick. Ashe is an interesting champion selection. She does have a great kit, but is not all that popular, being considered a fairly easy but not overly strong champion. A lot of other ADCs take a little bit more skill to play, but can definitely outscale her. Vayne will be locked in here for Grugan, the lowest health, highest damage champion throughout most gameplay. I do believe that somebody has slightly higher end game damage than the Vayne, but her raw damage output I do believe is the very highest, while her health is also the very lowest. Xcurver has also locked in the Jarvan 4 for Team Kitty Poachers, handing things back over to the Dynasty, where George and Call Me Pieman are looking to lock in some champions here. George is going to hover over Morgana, and I would love to see Morgana picked up into this game. Would make it a very difficult lane for the Janna, as well as against the Vayne. Vayne again having so little HP. Morgana able to land a Dark Binding, stun her down for up to 3 seconds, would allow Lucian to put a huge punishment onto either of those champions. Morgana will be swapped out for a Thresh pick here, though. Thresh another very strong support, but not who I'd prefer to play into this matchup. Call Me Pieman will also lock in a Mundo here. We may have Jace in the mid lane with Mundo as the top laner for Team the Dynasty, looking to see who gets locked in by Soap. Looking for a mid lane pick here from Team Kitty Poachers. Alright, so we've had to drop out of champion selection due to a glitch in one of the Summoner's clients. This will be considered a restart, which is allowed within the first 5 minutes of play. We will enforce the same pick and same ban rule. Looking like Call Me Pieman Summoner may have been random there. It was indeed likely a Jace top they intended to play, and Mundo was randomly selected as we are in tournament draft mode. You won't drop out of champion selection, you will have a random champion selected for you. Alright, so I believe the ruling there was that Mundo will be required to be played here. I did not quite catch the very last part of that conversation. We're going to have Soraka and Panther once again banned out with Warwick, Swain, and Kha'Zix. Those bans are the same as our first time into the selection, looking for the same champions to come out as well. Getting questioned about when the second tournament starts. Once again, as soon as we have the 8th team qualified into that event, we will release the bracket. We've had 7 matches so far. That is all of our round 1 matches. We now have 3 round 2 matches, which are currently underway, and we're getting our last round 2 game started up on the stream as we speak. So as soon as that first game in round 2 concludes, be it the match between Team First Sense and Abe Naguin, Team Teemo Feed, or Kyler Watch over us, as well as the Dynasty versus Kitty Poachers, the matchup we have on the stream this evening, or Feed Me Please versus Dusty Tools. And there's Dusty Tools. That explains the hype in the Twitch chat earlier on. Again, as soon as one of these matches does conclude, we'll have an 8th team qualified into the secondary event, and we will be able to release that secondary tournament for you. Alright, looks like ProSide did agree to the champion change up there. I did miss that occurring, but they have said they've allowed it, so this will be allowed for Mundo to be swapped out for Malphite. I apologize for my silence there, guys. Just that brief admin shows we did have a little bit of a hiccup getting our round 2 game started here. We've had to re-enter champion selection as we had somebody drop out of champion selection. Their champion was actually randomly selected for them. Their opponents have allowed them to change that selection. They're realizing that it was a randomed selection. Also, as we are heading towards the spectator delay period, I will be taking a quick break momentarily, but I shall return as we get ourselves into the low screen and onto the Rift. Again, guys, this is Team Dynasty on the blue side with Team Kitty Poachers on the purple side. Going to have a Lucian Thresh bottoming with Kayle in the jungle, as well as Jace and Malphite. For their laners, it will be a Jace in the mid lane with Malphite as their top laner. For Team the Dynasty with Vayne and Janna in the bottom lane. For Team Kitty Poachers, as well as Syndra as their mid laner, Aurelia as their top laner, and Jarvan 4 in the jungle. But with that, we have reached the spectator delay period, so I shall return momentarily. Stay tuned for round 2 of play, our round 2 game between Team the Dynasty and Team Kitty Poachers. teams there. We are heading into our round 2 game. Again, the teams are the Dynasty on the blue side with Team Kitty Poachers on the purple side of the map for this round 2 matchup. Remembering we are watching a Not So Stock Gaming semi-pro tournament. We are currently in the quarterfinals of tonight's event. Looking like we have 10 diamond trim summoners coming in here. Also only Syndra from the purple side without a skin for her champion, while the wife steal lane in the bottom lane for the blue side is both without skins, and Maokai, despite the visual update looking kind of like a skin, is hosting himself a little bit naked as well. Going to be 4 skins to 2. We'll see if we'll see if skins equal wins, or if the blue side can emerge victorious throughout a second round of play. And of course, both of these teams did play in round 1 and did win their round 1 game, so we're seeing 2 undefeated, though only throughout 1 round of play so far, teams in our round 2 game here. Of course, in round 3 we'll have 2 teams that have been undefeated throughout 2 rounds of play, and in the finals it will be 3 game win streaks that are required to make your way to that finals matchup, as we do have a 4-round tournament tonight with only 15 teams participating. Also, summoners have purchased the rounds that are making their way out of the base. Again, this is Team Dynasty on the blue side with Team Kitty Poachers on the purple side. Pain's coming out all around that river. We saw Team Dynasty defend an invade very, very effectively in round 1, but gave up their lead looking for an invade of their own. We'll see how this early game decides to play itself out. Team Dynasty wrapping around the river the long way, completely avoiding the tri-bush there. Bane has already gotten a ward into the river bush. We're going to have all 5 members of Dynasty spotted out by this Team Kitty Poachers ward. Team Dynasty still standing on that ward. Kitty Poachers looking to make a play here, potentially. Are looking to stand inside that blue buff bush. They do see all 5 members advance here. Thresh taking a huge amount of damage. Makes his way back to the back line of the fight. The heal comes out from his 80k, but Thresh will go down. Bane picking up first blood in this fight. Bane looking for a second kill. However, Syndra picks up the kill onto Maikar, seeing a 2-for-0 exchange so far. Almost a 3-for-0 as Lucian begins to take down. Double kill going out to the Syndra. Going to be a 3-for-2 exchange in that fight. But Thresh has already come back up onto the map. The death timers at 1.5 into the game are so short. All 5 summoners from both teams are now alive once again. Again, that was 3 kills going to Team Kitty Poachers. We have now seen 2 very poorly executed invades from Team Dynasty. They had vision on them the entire time there, and they did not know that that was the situation. We have now seen buffs spawn onto the map. Jarden 4 will engage a little bit late onto his blue buff, I believe, without a leash, no less, while Lucian and Thresh begin to take down the Krug camp here. Thresh down to about half HP. Lucian now tanking the Krubs. This is a questionable start for the blue side, though, having already given up first blood as well as 2 other kills. It's not exactly a poor start for them if they can maintain their presence into lane and actually get all the farm there that they need without taking too much pressure. They'll be starting that lane with about 3/4 of their health. Janet connects the Q onto both summoners in the bottom lane. Also, I apologize for breaking the camera. They're looking to get the scoreboard reordered here. Desmond goes on to Bane at maximum range, but Thresh is already down to about 200 HP. Face tanking the Krug camp so early, as well as taking a bit of damage from the Janna, has cost them an early lead. By Vayne is getting fairly low. Lucian doing a great job of punishing her early, but Thresh will take 2 auto attacks from the Vayne. 3rd auto attack, 1 more attack, and he will go. That's going to be another kill going over to Team Kitty Poachers, this time in the bottom lane, as Thresh potentially overplays his lane there. Starting with the Krug camp has now set the Thresh-Lucian pair behind. But we are seeing a pause come out here as Syndra disconnects. We're going to see Lucian disconnect as well, actually. Looking to restart their clients, get some lag issues solved, potentially. Also, I believe we've got this scoreboard reordered. No, have not yet completed the blue side of the map here. We're going to have a Malphite versus Aurelia in the top lane with Kayle and Jarvan 4 as the junglers for this round 2 game. Jason Syndra facing off in the mid lane with a Lucian Thresh. That is the wife steal bottom lane playing against a Vayne Janna pair. From the purple side, taking a look at the early stats of these summoners. Malphite, Lucian, and Thresh went down in a failed invade attempt. Thresh has also down in lane after face tanking the Krug camp for Lucian and taking a little bit too much damage from the Vayne and Janna in early exchanges. Vayne now sitting 2-0-2, picking up 1 kill and 1 kill in their jungle, as well as both assists from the double kill that Syndra picked up. We are seeing her entire team with 3 assists aside from Syndra, who has those 2 kills and 1 assist, and Janna, who has picked up a 4th assist, picking up the kill with Vayne in the laning phase. Again, that is a 4-2-0 kill score before the 3-minute mark of this game. A very, very strong start for Team Kitty Poachers. Team The Dynasty did come back from an early game deficit in their last game, so we'll see if this early game advantage turns into a huge lead, or if Team Dynasty can clean their act up here. Speaking of cleaning their acts up, we've had both Lucian and Syndra reconnect into the game, and the pause timer will now tick down. Aurelia taking a bit more pressure in the top lane. Maokai is doing very well so far. He's going to push the minions against Aurelia's turret, but she's already... going to get minion pressure towards her turret, where she should be able to pick up on the last hits to manage to even out the farm score there. Also, Jace being forced behind his turret in the mid lane. Syndra will not allow him to farm right now. He's going to be a little bit behind, though Aurelia has just caught up to Malphite, or nearly caught up, with only a 3 farm deficit. Jace is about 5 farm behind the Syndra. Still not a huge variance in any of these lanes. Lucian with an early deficit to Vayne as well. Those 2 kills and 2 assists, as well as now a 5 farm advantage for the Vayne, will translate into a fairly strong early goal lead. Vayne actually starting lane with a Doran's Blade as well as a long sword from that first kill in the jungle. I believe Vayne was able to pick up first blood in that invade attempt made from Team The Dynasty. Stun coming out from the Syndra onto Jace. Syndra will take 1 turret hit for her advances against Jace. Jace down to about 150 HP in that exchange. Does not manage to secure a 5th kill for her team, though. Aurelia now looking to come back in against the Maokai. I believe she has not yet backed, but does have 2 charges available on her flask, losing only her health potion so far from the looks of things. She has again caught up in a farm and is actually looking to control this lane. Bit of Pokemon from Janna on to the Lucian. Pokemon from the Syndra as well. Her stun has connected onto Jace. Ignite will come out. He has a shield on him to keep him safe, though. He actually picks up the kill onto Syndra. No, the turret picks up the kill on Syndra. Jace not able to get a single attack on Syndra. No amount of poke, no amount of damage. She will be executed. Still seeing a 4-2-0 kill score. Let's say 2,000 gold lead for Team Kitty Poachers. However, Maokai is looking to engage against Aurelia in the top lane. This could go either way right now. Maokai could potentially be over-pressured by the Aurelia. She does have about half HP while he is reaching up to 300 HP. Aurelia will re-engage. Maokai gets a little bit of damage back onto the Aurelia. Will re-engage. She is down to 200 HP. She takes a turret hit there down to 50, and she will go down to Maokai while he remains with 50 HP. That will be the first kill, the first actual kill, giving gold onto a summoner from Team The Dynasty. It's going to be now a 4-2-1 kill score. We are almost 6 minutes in the game, seeing 5 deaths occur so far in Vayne. Looking to engage fairly heavily against Lucian. Flay will come out, connects onto Vayne. Vayne down to about 300 HP. The death come out, does not connect onto Vayne nor the Janna. Also a gank coming in from Jarvan 4 on top lane. The EQ combo will connect, and that's a kill for Jarvan 4 onto Maokai. Aurelia was also able to pick up the assist, getting into lane just in time for that one. Vayne with about 200 HP, Lucian with 200 HP as well. Janna and Thresh looking to keep their ADCs safe. The Desmond connects onto Janna. Lucian getting a bit more pressure onto Janna. The Q, I apologize, the Flay comes out from Thresh, and Janna is down to about 100 HP after taking a turret. We also are having Maokai teleport into the bottom lane. Vayne will go down. Lucian flashing for the kill onto him, but the kill has not yet occurred, and Syndra will come and throw some, but does not quite connect onto Lucian with about 300 HP and no mana to his name. Kayle now coming in, looking to set up for a dragon play here, but we have 3 members of Team Kitty Poachers in range, because we have all 5 members of Team The Dynasty in this Dragon Pit. Dragon under half HP, the distance from the Thresh, but does not connect. Jarvan Forrest looking to roam behind this Dragon Pit, looking to come back in, potentially steal that Dragon away, but will be forced out into the mid lane. Dragon at 400 HP. Dragon will go down as Kayle throws out the smite. Is going to be the first Dragon of the game. Lucian and Thresh looking to recall from the bottom, or Thresh at the very least looking to recall, while Lucian actually looks to maintain this lane. Potentially Vayne and Jen looking for some pressure against that bottom lane outer turret. While Jarvan 4 has just cleared a ward placed down by Team the Dynasty into the Baron Pixel Bush. I believe that was this coming up from one of them, or the passive coming in from them. It's going to be a strong gank coming into the melee, counter gank coming in from the Kayle as well. Gets a flash out of the Syndra. Jarvan 4 getting very low. Jarvan 4 will go down. Now seeing a 5-3 kill score still in favor of Kitty Poachers, but Team the Dynasty has definitely made a comeback into this game. Again, guys, we're currently watching the game between Team the Dynasty and Kitty Poachers. Post that bracket back into Twitch chat. Also, for those who are not aware of how the stream works, we pick a more or less random game in round 1. I actually asked Twitch chat early on who wanted to be streamed tonight. Team Dynasty was there, said, hey, why don't you stream us? So that's who we picked for our round 1 game. They actually emerged victorious through round 1, and while I've been battling, we've seen a huge engagement between the Aurelia and the Maokai that does disengage. While I interrupt myself to talk about that fight, Aurelia comes back in onto the Maokai. Maokai's Aurelia down to about 100 GP. Aurelia should go down here, but Maokai goes down and says a strong play coming up from the pro sides. Aurelia making the kill score now a 6-3 score. And apologies back to my talk about the stream mechanics. All games in each round happen more or less concurrently, meaning all round 1 games happen at the same time, and then round 2 games start up as opponents become available for those matches. We do pick one game in round 1 to stream, and then follow the winners of that game into the next round, and the winners of that game through to the next round, all the way until we get into the finals with winners of each side. So we're going to get 1 or 2 teams. I apologize, 2 teams in each round, with the winner of each round getting streamed at least twice, depending how long they can continue their wins. There's going to be more action into this matchup, though. The exhaust comes out onto Lucian, and Thresh will go down to the Vayne. We have Jace coming in to counter the play by the Janna and Vayne, but Jarvan 4 is also coming in for a counter here, and Kayle coming in from behind as well. Vayne will go down to the Janna. Lucian's done down by the Syndra as Syndra comes down a little bit late. Kayle picks up a double kill, however, as Jarvan 4 also goes down. Lucian maintaining his life. Syndra biting off a little bit more. She will go down to the Jace. Kayle not able to pick up the triple kill there, handing one of those kills over onto her mid laner. He will be able to utilize that gold, though, as that is actually his first kill of the game. We're seeing action into the top lane as well, where Maokai has gotten fairly low. Aurelia's going to come back in here, where this fight will be disengaged. Now we are looking at a 6-7 kill score. That last play in the bottom lane, actually putting Dynasty more or less back to even with Team Kitty Poachers, despite that very strong early game for Kitty Poachers. Aurelia is going to be able to take down a Maokai in the top lane here again. Maokai not quite knowing how to play that one as safely as he should be. Potentially he was a early game threat to the Aurelia, but Aurelia seems to have figured out the solution there, picking up 2 kills onto Maokai fairly recently, and also having a 20 farm advantage in the top lane. Taking a look into the mid lane, things are fairly even, but Syndra does have an additional kill over the Jace. Jace picking up that 1 kill in the bottom. Is going to be action into the bottom lane. As I mentioned that, though, Janna will go down to Lucian. Pressing kill onto the Vayne as well. Lucian finally re-engaging onto Vayne, gets Vayne down to about 500 health. They're killing for a gank into the bottom lane. Jarvan 4 handing his blue buff over onto Syndra. We may see both of them heading towards the bottom lane as well here, as the Thresh Lucian pair look for their first turret of the game. Vayne is in range to defend it, and Jarvan 4 is looking to start on his Gromp camp before entering the bottom lane. I hope he will be heading down, though, as Thresh Lucian do not seem to be easing off of this one. Jarvan 4 will make his way down. No, Kayle makes her way in behind that bottom lane. Her teleport will come out into the bottom lane. Vayne will go down to the Kayle. Kayle taking a huge damage. The lantern comes out from the Thresh, keeping her alive for a moment longer. Aurelia, however, is very strong, looking to get the kill onto both the Kayle and the Thresh. Kayle comes back and gets the slow onto Aurelia. Aurelia looking to dive back into the turret, but loops back around towards the Tribush. Looking to make her way deeper into the blue side of the map. Will not quite be able to pick up either of those kills. They're a great play by the Kayle Thresh combo. Lucian will, however, be collapsed on as he makes his way back towards that turret. We have 4 members of a Team Kitty Poachers now into the bottom lane. Poke coming out from the Jace will not quite connect onto Syndra. Janna waiting in the wing to his sister. Kayle still in the bottom lane despite being as low as she was. I look to recall while Thresh recalls. Well, Maokai has meanwhile been left alone in the top lane, doing huge amounts of damage to this top lane outer turret. I believe we're going to be seeing our first turret of the game going down momentarily. This top lane outer turret does not have much health remaining, and Aurelia is about 10 seconds out to the lane. 2 more auto attacks, and that will go down. Yes, the turret in the top lane is going to be the first one going down. That first turret does go over to Team the Dynasty on the blue side. Remember, folks, that this is round 2 of play, and that has now evened out the gold score, or at least almost evened out the gold score. Still seeing a 100-200 gold advantage for Team Kitty Poacher. They're up only 1 kill now, and they are now down the first turret of the game, but I believe they have picked up the first dragon. Looks like that was actually the blue side. That is Team Dynasty securing the first dragon of the game. Jace gets stunned down under his turret. Syndra takes a few too many turret hits, throwing her ultimate at him though, and she will go down. Aurelia taking a huge amount of pressure, as well as Kayle and Maokai roam into the middle to contest against the Aurelia's roam. Maokai base tanking this turret while Jarvan 4 comes back in the kill. Will go over to Kayle on Aurelia, but Jarvan 4 will chase down the Kayle, choosing not to go for the kill onto Maokai here, while Janna makes her way into the middle, and Thresh and Lucian look to come up as well to contest and assist their team. Thresh being spotted out by Jarvan 4 is under a ward as well. The EQ comes up with a flay, comes through from Thresh, the box will come through. Vayne looking to engage against Lucian. Culling will come out from Lucian, not able to connect all that strongly onto Vayne nor the Jarvan 4, but Vayne will go down as Jace's poke manages to do over 500 damage in the remaining amount of Vayne's health there. A very strong play coming out from the blue side's mid laner. Again, guys, this is round 2 of play. We have a Team the Dynasty on the blue side with Team Kitty Poachers on the purple side. Also, it looks like we've had that round 2 game conclude, so our secondary tournament bracket has now been released. I'll get the bracket to tonight's tournament posted back into Twitch chat for you guys, and if you were one of those first 8 teams to lose a match in the main event, you are now expected to start your matches in the secondary tournament. If your opponents don't show up within 15 minutes, please let us know, and we can potentially swap in the 9th team or 10th team that have lost, depending on their availability. Also, we are seeing a dragon setup for once again here. Pro side looking for their first dragon of the game will succeed, taking down the dragon. Kayle comes in a little bit late there. Kayle will go down as Vayne manages to shut in. Lucian will go down as well. Vayne picking up the double kill there. Chasing for a little bit of damage, not quite able to connect that the way he was looking to. Will be punished for this potentially, as 5 members of Team Kitty Poachers look to chase him down for that play. A little bit more poke coming up from Jace, looking to connect on to Vayne as Maokai chases as well. Thresh coming back into range here, looking for a play, but Vayne and Janna have exited that fight. Rather than come back in, will not engage against Jace as Thresh shows his face when Jarvan 4 is not quite in range. He is now in range, looking to defend this mid lane outer turret. Pokemon from Jace will connect on to the rest. Jarvan 4 is fairly low here, though. Did not quite realize that Jarvan 4 did not have the strength to re-engage. Currently, Syndra has come back into lane, looking to keep this mid lane outer turret alive. We have only seen 1 turret go down so far in this game at the 15-minute mark. We are seeing a 12-11 kill score. We have seen a fairly close game so far between Team Dynasty and Team Kitty Poachers. Once again, guys, that is Team Dynasty on the blue side with Kitty Poachers on the purple side. Jace being engaged onto by the Aurelia. They all comes out from the Syndra as well, and Jace will go down there. A 13-11 kill score. Emerging 14 Kitty Poachers. A nice test coming up from the Thresh. Gets a turret hit onto the Syndra, but is not quite able to follow that up with the Flay to get a second turret hit on her. Kayle also looking to engage against Will, but Janna looking to contest against the Kayle. Aurelia engaging very heavy on the Kayle. Kayle's ultimate has been utilized. We are seeing a lantern come out from the Thresh, but she is not quite able to get in range to click the lantern. Kayle will go down in that play. Maokai looking to roam in against the Aurelia. Aurelia, however, looking to re-engage against the Maokai. Despite having only 500, she will engage her. Looks like Aurelia could go down, but Maokai taking huge pressure will go down to Aurelia. Aurelia escapes that fight with about 300 health remaining. A very impressive play made by Team Kitty Poachers right there. Looking now at the scoreboard, we're seeing a 15-11 kill score, but Team the Dynasty has picked up their second turret and making now a 2-0 turret score in the period despite being down by 4 kills. We are seeing them still down by about 1,000 gold. Again, that is a 1,000 gold lead for Team Kitty Poachers, with a 25.5k goal score for Team the Dynasty and a 26.7k goal score for Team Kitty Poachers. Looking like this blue buff will be going over to Syndra as she looks to solo that without assistance from any of her teammates. Takes a fair amount of punishment for trying this. Looks like she will be forced to recall after grabbing her blue. Janna looking to defend the mid lane as Jace gets minion pressure towards the mid lane outer turret. Janna will throw a Q and quickly clear out this minion wave. Looking for one more attack to finish things off there. Yes, she will pick up 3 farm for herself. Lucian looking for some pressure in the bottom lane as well, but Vayne is there to contest. Janna looking to make her way back towards the bottom as well. Has been now spotted out by a Vision Ward placed down by Team Dynasty. Looks to clear out that Vision Ward. Thresh looks to come into range as well. Will not quite get there to collapse onto Janna. They do know that there is a sight ward in that bush though. Thresh looking for a sweeper here, potentially to clear that back out. Seeing a sight ward dropped in the bush, but no sweeper coming out quite yet. I believe he has cleared out the purple sight ward. I'm not seeing that one sitting there. Seeing a Vision Ward placed into the bottom half of the mid lane in that bush, and Syndra will succeed in taking down a sight ward from the blue team. Once again, this is Team Dynasty on the blue side with Team Kitty Poachers on the purple side. Kayle looking to engage against the Janna, but thinks better of it as she spots out the Jarvan 4 and clears out a sight ward. Once again placed down behind the Dragon Pit by the Janna. Is going to be action into the top lane as well here. While Maokai and Aurelia do get, we've seen Aurelia come out on top of these fights fairly reliably over the last few engagements. Maokai is still choosing to continue that engagement. And I apologize, I broke the camera trying to clear the Skype notification. Seeing Kayle go down though in a 3 versus 1 while Thresh and Jace look to get in range to contest that fight. Thresh looking for distance onto the Raptors to get himself to safety. Does not manage to but manage to survive nonetheless. And also guys, once again, the secondary break tournament has been released. We have had 8 games conclude tonight. If you did miss the memo, the secondary tournament is waiting for you potentially. Syndra looking for a little bit more pressure in the mid lane for Team Kitty Poachers. Jace having a little bit of trouble contesting against Syndra despite them being fairly even so far in this matchup. Lucian also being forced off behind this bottom lane outer. The culling will come through onto Vayne, not quite able to do the damage he was looking for though. Look at Vayne now down to half speed. Janna comes back in to contest this. Thresh comes in as well. The Dessence connects onto a minion. Lucian not quite able to grab the lantern, will go down. Kayle comes into the fight a little bit late. The ultimate comes out from the Janna looking to keep the Vayne alive. Thresh coming back into this Death Sentence should be coming off cooldown in about 5 more seconds. The Q comes up from the Janna. They're going to continue the pursuit. Maokai looking to re-engage as well onto either the Vayne or the Janna. Will engage onto Vayne despite Vayne being under the turret. No, the turret in the bottom lane has gone down. I almost forgot we had that bottom lane turret down. We've also seen the mid lane turret for both sides. I apologize, the mid lane turret going down to Team Kitty Poachers. Going to be more action in the bottom as Kayle goes down to a teleport coming in from the Aurelia. A great play coming in there from Aurelia into the bottom lane. Thresh and Maokai now being chased down by Jarvan 4. Maokai re-engages against Jarvan 4 while Thresh does not assist him. Lane comes out for the Maokai. Maokai looking himself to safety. Will enter the bush. Looks to re-engage against the Jarvan 4 here potentially. But the Q comes out from Jarvan 4 finishing off the Maokai, and Thresh will go down as well. Again, guys, looking at the turrets on the map, we've had the bottom and mid lane turret removed from the Dynasty side of the map. That is a successful bottom and mid lane turret going over to Team Kitty Poachers, while Dynasty has taken down Kitty Poachers' top and bottom lane. Outer turrets going to look for their second dragon of the game here. Jace, forced out behind the Dragon Pit, will be continuing the engagement on her from Syndra. Looks like the Ignite will be enough to finish Jace off. A health potion not being available to keep him alive. This could be a second dragon, will be a second dragon for Team Kitty Poachers. Now looking at a 2-1 dragon score, a 21-12 kill score, but a 2-2 turret score so far. Looking like a 6,000 gold lead for Team Kitty Poachers. Dynasty may have met their match in round 2, but again, we did see them come back from behind in round 1 and come back from behind once before in this matchup as well. We'll see if they can figure out the answer and exert dominance for a second time in tonight's tournament, or if it will be Team Kitty Poachers heading into the semi-finals from this matchup. Also taking a look over at the bracket, looks like Kyler Watchover defeated Teemo Urfeed in the quarterfinals, while Feed Me Please defeated Dusty Tools in the quarterfinals. Dusty Tools unfortunately out of the main event. I wonder if it was Teemo Urfeed or Dusty Tools making their way into the secondary tournament. Unfortunately for Dusty Tools, it was Teemo Urfeed who lost that round 2 game first. So both teams making their way into the semifinals. That is Kyler Watch Over Us and Feed Me Please, waiting for one more quarter-final game to conclude. Kyler Watch Over Us waiting for the game between Team First Sense and Abe Nguyen, while the matchup between Feed Me Please and whoever wins the quarterfinal game on the stream is still waiting to occur as well. Again, that is Feed Me Please waiting for the matchup between Team Dynasty and Kitty Poachers. Of course, I'm going to get myself off the bracket and back into the matchup at hand. Jarvan 4 looking for an engagement there. The Thresh Lantern will come through, and that will get Jace, I believe, to safety with his team. Maokai going to make his way back into the mid lane, having just released the pressure from the top lane. Team fight is looking to break out. Aurelia hard engaging onto Lucian. Lucian again here for the Thresh, already going down. Lucian at about 200 here, looking to come back into the fight, but looking to get himself out of that fight as quickly as possible. This could be an inner turret going down to Team Kitty Poachers. We do have 3 defenders from Team the Dynasty still available. The turret is still very healthy. Minimave will be cleared out fairly quickly, despite a 5-man siege from Team Kitty Poacher. That mid lane inner turret will remain alive, at least for the time being. Q comes over and connects onto the Gale, while not quite long enough to connect to Maokai as well. A sapling will come through the Maokai. Looks like Janna might actually end up back in range for that, while Syndra takes down the blue buff, barely surviving that with about 400 HP remaining. Looks like she was standing under Evasion War and felt quite confident she would survive, though. Looks like Lucian is also going to take down another Krug camp. He's looking to get as much gold as he possibly can. Looking at the gold scores between all of these champions, Aurelia is up about 2,000 gold over the Maokai in the top lane, while Kale is actually up a little bit of gold over the Jarvan 4. It's about a 500, almost 1,000 gold lead there for the jungler for Team the Dynasty, while in the mid lane Syndra again has a 1,000 gold advantage over Jay, so that's going to be a fairly significant gold advantage for Team Kitty Poachers so far. Looking into the bottom lane, Vayne with a 2,000 gold advantage over Lucian, while Janna has almost a 3,000 gold advantage over the Thresh. We are seeing an overall 6,000 gold lead on that scoreboard for Team Kitty Poachers. They are 22 kills to 12, 3 turrets to 2, and I believe now 3 dragons to 1. I apologize, they are 2 dragons to 1. Looking at the scoreboard, I'm seeing only 2 stacks of the dragon buff on the purple team members. We have 1 no-show in the secondary tournament, looking to sub in the 10th team that lost in a main event round. That would be Team Dusty Tools. If there are any members of Team Dusty Tools still on the Twitch chat, please let us know. And also, it's going to be a team fight in the matchup at hand. We've already seen 2 summoners going down here. Jay's getting a fair look, but Jarvan 4 is going to actually be the next one to go down. Comes up from the Janna, trying to keep the Aurelia and herself safe. But Lucian, as well as 3 other team members from Team Dynasty, will re-engage it by Janna. Wilkin as well. It's going to be a 3-for-1 exchange in favor of Team the Dynasty, but Vayne is going to succeed in pushing down onto that bottom lane. And her looking for the inhibitor as well. Vayne, I apologize, Kale is going to respond to that. Alright, so we're going to be swapping in Team Dusty Tools for Team Bionates in the secondary tournament. Pico in Twitch chat, please try and contact members from Team Dusty Tools. Let them know they've actually made their way into the secondary event due to one team not showing up, unfortunately, or not being able to participate. Again, guys, that is Team Dusty Tools going to be replacing Team Bionates. That should be showing on the bracket momentarily. Again, Bionates either did not show up for that secondary tournament game or have forfeit in the match. So we're going to be swapping in the 9th team to lose into that 8th team's team slot, or the team that's not showing up, not necessarily the 8th team, but you know what I am saying. And of course, we're going to get ourselves back into this round 2 game here. Again, this is Team the Dynasty versus Team Dynasty versus Team Kitty Poachers. Team fight has ensued. Maokai getting fairly low here, but Aurelia going to go full ham. Will take a fair for their Vayne. Picks up the shutdown onto the Lucian. That's not quite able to connect onto the Vayne. Poke coming out from the Jace. Gets a fair chunk of Jan as Hell's with a bit more pro coming in from the Kayle. But we know that was a little bit of deterrent coming through from the Syndra. From the look of the kit coming out. Also Dragon being engaged by the purple side here. There's going to be Kitty Poacher's third potential Dragon, though we do have the Dynasty in range to contest to try and steal this way. Kayle has another no smite available for the Dynasty. That will be the third Dragon stack. Going over on to Team Kitty Poachers and 3 kills. Going to be Kitty Poachers looking for a 4th kill. There's going to be Maokai going to be the 4th kill, and that's going to be an ace as we have, I believe that was Thresh, the last summoner to go down from Team the Dynasty. 3 members now of Kitty Poachers rushing towards the Baron Pit. No rushing towards the top lane. Actually, no rushing towards the Baron Pit, while Syndra stays in the mid lane. Hopefully the 3 members for Team Kitty Poachers will be enough to take down this Baron. Aurelia is coming into the fight a little bit late. Syndra may have been wise to join her team. It seems that they are having a tiny bit of trouble there. Vayne forced to tank the Baron as both Jarvan 4 and Janna are too low. Aurelia coming in will be able to take Baron, and that will be a successful Baron play for Team Kitty Poacher, despite not having Syndra to come in at the last second, but was not needed to finish off the Baron. This is going to be a rough situation for Team the Dynasty. Apologize for my silence, guys. Another brief admin issue coming in from that secondary tournament, looking to get Team Dusty Tools in place of Team Bionates, as Bionates was not able to participate in our secondary event tonight. We are swapping in the 9th team to lose a matchup. That is Team Dusty Tools. So Dusty Tools was not aware they made their way into the secondary bracket, so I have an admin attempting to contact them, also requesting that their opponents do the same. Going to see the purple side looking to make a large advance down the mid lane, being empowered by Baron. They have huge amounts of meat pressure, where they will be successful on the mid lane inner turret. They now have 5 members sieging towards this inhibitor. They are almost 30 minutes game, 3 stacks of Dragon, as well as a Baron buff on Team Kitty Poach. They're up 29 kills to 17. They're going to make their way into the top lane here, potentially clearing out a site ward place down into the blue pit. We're seeing pink come out from the first side, as Team Dynasty does have a fair amount of top lane pressure. Kayle looking to relieve pressure from the bottom lane as well here. Alright, my admin's reporting is actually having some difficulty contacting Dusty Tools, so we may need to wait for a 10th match to conclude to find a replacement for both Bionates and Dusty Tools. So if one of those teams does become available, we will allow them to play, despite a slight delay in that game starting. We do apologize for the delay for, I believe that is Team Disaster, looking for an opponent in rounds, or in the secondary tournament. Again, guys, Team Bionates should have been playing in that A matchup slot. I thought I had replaced Bionates with Team Dusty Tools. Maybe I failed to save that change. I do apologize. Going to look and get that change affected. So at least the tournament bracket is showing the correct thing, as Bionates has exceeded the time limit, saying they cannot show up for their matchup. There we go. The tournament bracket should now be saying the correct name, therefore Dusty Tools replacing Bionates. Though we have not been able to contact Dusty Tools either, should they not show up in the next few minutes, we will replace them with the 10th team to lose a matchup in the main event, looking for the 3rd round 2 game to conclude. Also, I'm going to get myself back into the match, but here, guys, I do apologize for the distractions. We do have a Kitty Poach looking to siege into the top lane here. Q coming out from the not quite able to connect on anyone, as by Team Disasters, I apologize, Team the Dynasty has fallen off of their pursuit into the top lane. I believe they're going to hand the shirt over without much of a fight. Jace was a tiny bit of poke there, but him and Maokai will not come into range. A two-man defense against 5 members of the Baron-empowered KD Poachers would have been a poor choice indeed. Lucian tries to defend the inhibitor with the remainder of his team as well. Maokai getting fairly low here. Lucian has already gone down. Aurelia will go down. It's going to be a 3-for-1, no 4-for-1 exchange so far as both Syndra and Vayne pick up a double kill. Vayne chasing Maokai all the way into his pool, looking to secure that last kill, pick up the ace for her team, but chasing him into the pool will be enough to secure them the first inhibitor of the game here. We do have the mid and ball inhibitors remaining on the map. That's going to be a 4-for-0 surrender vote coming out from Team The Dynasty. Alright guys, that was round 2 of play. We just had KD Poachers emerge victorious against Team The Dynasty. They're going to be the third team qualified into the semi-finals of tonight's event. That looks like they're actually going to be the 4th team, with Abe Nguyen defeating Team First Sense. Alright, looks like I have an invite here to our round 3 game. To apologize for my distraction, it looks like we have potentially 2 no-shows in the secondary bracket, which is unfortunate. We're looking to swap in additional teams in their places, as we do require 8 teams in order to start up that event. Alright, so we have 5 summoners total into this lobby. 3 members of Team KD Poachers potentially, as well as 2 members or 3 now members of Team Feed Me Please. Again guys, this will be Team KD Poachers on the blue side, with Team Feed Me Please on the purple side. We did have KD Poachers emerge victorious over Team The Dynasty in round 2 of play. We also had Abe Nguyen defeat Team First Sense, as well as Kyler Watch Over Us defeat Team Teemo or Feed, and Team Feed Me Please defeat Team Dusty Tools. Our round 3, the semi-finals matchups, are going to be Abe Nguyen versus Kyler Watch Over Us, and KD Poachers versus Feed Me Please. Alright, looking for a few more summoners to come in this lobby. Looks like we actually have 4 members of Team KD Poachers. We're waiting away for a few more members to come in here from Team Feed Me Please. Scover says that he gave IAutoU invite. I assume that IAutoU is a member from Feed Me Please. Let's take a quick look down our roster. Yes, that is correct. Looking for IAutoU, Faith, DC, Axel, J, and Bowel. Again, guys, heading into round 3, the semi-finals for tonight's Not So Stock Gaming Semi-Pro Bracket Tournament. Looking now for one more member from KD Poachers, as we do have all 5 members sitting here from Team Feed Me Please. Again, that is IAutoU, Axel, Faith, DC, Bowel, and J from Feed Me Please, while we have Ethos, Excrement, Soak, Groog, and Scooby from Team Kitty Poachers. This is going to be our semi-finals matchup between Kitty Poachers on the blue side and Feed Me Please on the purple side. We'll see if Kitty Poachers can poach themselves a few more kills and another victory, or if they're going to give in and feed me please in their way to the finals matchup. Looking down these rosters again, seeing all diamond lineups, a fairly even matchup should be ensuing. Both these teams have won 2 games to make their way into this match, and we saw some pretty great games throughout round 1 and 2 of play so far. Looking forward to see the competition in this semi-finals matchup here tonight. Of course, we do have one other semi-finals matchup which is also currently underway. I'm going to take a quick look here. It is Abe Nguyen and Kyler Watch Over Us. I'm not actually familiar with either of those teams, but both of them did start in round 1. So as we get our way into the finals matchup, that is after both semi-finals games emerge with a victor, we will have 2 teams in that final matchup. Both those teams will be undefeated throughout 3 rounds of play, while in the semifinals we have all 4 of these teams so far undefeated tonight throughout both rounds of play. Again, this is going to be Kitty Poachers on the blue side with Feed Me Please on the purple side. Kitty Poachers ban out Zed as their first pick here, while Feed Me Please will remove Aurelia from the game. Also Pantheon being now banned out by Kitty Poachers. Looking like Jace will be banned out here by Team Feed Me Please, and the last ban from Kitty Poachers is going to be a Rumble. I believe the Pantheon is a fairly standardized ban, though the Zed and Rumble could be targeted bans. I'm not all that familiar with what Feed Me Please plays. Seeing Janna as the last ban coming out from Feed Me Please, also the Jace and Aurelia could be target bans. No, Aurelia was played by the opposition of... No, I apologize, it was played by Team Kitty Poachers. They were the purple side from our last match. Their top lane Aurelia did do fairly well, though they did play against the Jace. I'm not quite sure if that Jace is a targeted ban, the Jace being picked away from them last matchup, potentially, or just a standardized and comfort ban from them, as well as Janna being banned out here. While that was played throughout the last round by Team Kitty Poachers, it is a fairly standard ban as well. Looks like Jarvan 4 will be the first selection here for Team Kitty Poachers. We saw him banned out fairly consistently throughout last night's tournament and not yet played. No, he was played throughout tonight's tournament. I do apologize again, my memory. Apparently not what it should be. We're going to see Jarvan 4 coming into a second game tonight. I believe we've only seen him played in 1 game so far. But Jarvan 4 is one of those strong junglers. Also, we've not seen Warwick banned out, which is an interesting choice, but IoT was going to hover over a Lee Sin pick, making me do that it will be Lee Sin. If they're going to know, Lee Sin will be swapped out for Azir. We'll see what IoT and Axel choose to lock in here. Axel will hover over the Lee Sin. IoT swapping out the Azir for a Thresh pick now. Looks like we could have the jungle and support getting locked in for Team Feed Me Please. Yes, Thresh will be locked in. Axel still hovering over the Lee Sin, but the timer has just expired. It's going to be Thresh and Lee Sin being locked in for the purple side. This does allow Icecovert and Groog N to pick up their champions for Team Kitty Poachers. Again, going to hover over a Nami pick here. Icecovert has not yet showed us champion. As I say that, we see Poppy emerge, but only momentarily. Looks like he's going to randomize this selection, not let us know what he is picking up until he decides to hover over a Caitlyn. We could see a Caitlyn-Nami bottom lane pair. Have not seen it very frequently, but it is quite strong. Caitlyn, one of those not so popular ADCs in the current meta, but a very strong ADC nonetheless. Love to see Caitlyn and Sivir come out. Also, love to see those Ashes come out occasionally, but again, not the current meta champions we see a lot more Jinx and Lucian coming in as ADC, even Tristana and Corki, of course, as popular picks. So Tristana has not been played quite as frequently since patch 4.20 came out. We are seeing Caitlyn and Nami locked in here by Team Kitty Poachers, while Faith DC and Beowulf will will hover over a Corki and a Rengar pick. Beowulf swapping out the Rengar for a Maokai, then for a Gnar here, while Faith DC swapped out that Corki back and forth for a potential Ashe pick. He is back to hovering over Corki, while Beowulf has locked in a Gnar pick for their top lane. Again, guys, this is Team Kitty Poachers on the blue side, and we have Team Feed Me Please on the purple side. This is round 3, the semi-finals of play for Not So Stock Gaming's Semi-Pro Tournament. Alright, Gnar and Corki have both been locked in. I do apologize for that brief silence period, guys. We are also seeing Jax and Orianna, however, now locked in for Team Kitty Poachers. I do apologize for those Skype beeps. Let me put that back to DND here. Didn't realize it was going over both computers when I swapped it off from the other one. Anyways, back to D&D there. Skype beeps no more, but tournament will continue. Again, guys, round 3 of play. This is the semi-finals matchup. We have Kitty Poachers on the blue side, with Team Feed Me Please playing from the purple side. Kitty Poachers have finalized their team roster, while Team Feed Me Please is looking to lock in a LeBlanc as their last champion selection, potentially. Alright, the LeBlanc will be locked in there. Alright, so the team rosters here tonight are going to be Caitlyn and Nami in the bottom lane for Team Kitty Poachers, with Jarvan 4 as their jungle, Jax as their top lane, and Orianna in the mid lane, while the blue side is going to be a Corki Thresh bottom lane pair with Gnar as their top laner, LeBlanc as their mid laner, and Lee Sin as the as the jungler. Alright, and since we are now past the 60-second period where summoners are able to finalize their runes masteries and their summoner spells, we have now reached that spectator delay period, so I will be taking a quick break here, but I shall return as we get ourselves into the load screen and onto the Rift. So guys, stay tuned for round 3, the semi-finals of play. This matchup between Team Kitty Poachers on the blue side and Team Feed Me Please on the purple side. absence there, I have now returned. Looking like everybody has purchased items, and we are going to have Team Feed Me Please making a 4-man advance. Looking for a 5-man advance. Yes, Gnar just a tiny bit behind the remainder of his team. Is going to be a 5-man advance into the blue side of the jungle. Nami and Kate waiting around that tribe, which may actually get caught here. Ward will come. Caitlyn has spotted out the Thresh, Lee Sin, and Accord coming through. Will possibly know that LeBlanc is there, but has not yet seen the Gnar. Will see the Gnar, as they do have a ward in that tri-bush. Broside will fall off the engagement, but will wait outside the dragon pit here. Alright, we have 4 members. Is that 5 members? Yes, all 5 members of a team. Kitty Poachers waiting just in front of this red buff pit inside that bush behind the dragon pit. Alright, apologize for my slides there, guys. A couple last admin issues lagging around here with that secondary bracket tournament getting all of its matches started. We have had a bit of a delay getting a few matches started. We had, I believe, 3 teams not show up and need to be replaced. So we're going to see huge action here. Broside actually taking down the Krug here. Lee Sin maybe potentially overturned. Caitlyn and Nami could spot him out. I believe he has picked up the last hit on that last Krug. The camera has jumped away from it. Lee Sin will make his way safely out of the purple side jungle, but Jarvan 4 has picked up his red buff. Lee Sin going for his blue buff now. Will have his Gromp camp as well as his wolves available. Has 3 camps on the bottom side of the map while he has reached level 2, or should have reached level 2, though Caitlyn and Nami may have reached some of that experience. We are seeing Lee Sin at level 2, so he was successful there. Nami Caitlyn in the bottom lane facing off against the Thresh Corki pair. Top lane is going to be Jax versus Gnar. Also, as I go over this, I should get the scoreboard reorganized for everybody, so we are now good to go. In the middle, Orianna has gotten a little bit of an early advantage against LeBlanc. Jax going for a little bit more damage against the Gnar in the top lane. Gnar down to half HP. Jax being re-engaged onto by the Gnar, though. Seeing Gnar with a slight farm advantage over Jax at this point in the game is not, I'm going to say, overly surprising, but they are fairly even so far. Jax just catching up with Gnar. Both of them looking for a little bit of damage against each other as well. And Jarvan 4 coming up for his first gank of the game into the top lane. Looking for the EQ, but the flash comes out from Gnar as the Q comes through. And Gnar will maintain his life despite a well-executed gank by Jarvan 4. Gonna be some action in the mid lane as well as LeBlanc escapes from the Orianna. Both of those champions taking a fair amount of punishment there, looking like they're both around the half of their HP. Lee Sin spotted out by a sight ward placed into his jungle. Will clear that out. Being pinged out by the blue side, though, may still come in for a gank into the middle. We'll see Orianna will play it safe, make her way back towards her outer turret here. Looking to get another ward placed onto the map. They're looking to get her blue buff from the Jarvan 4, but is the first blue of the game. Jarvan 4 will need that to be effective. He's going to clear out his blue buff. Look to pick up the Scuttle Crab as well here potentially, or look to make his way into the mid lane. Lee Sin making his way into the mid lane. It's going to be a gank and a cannon. The Q comes up from Lee Sin. Will connect onto Orianna, making her way back into the Q. Still flying. So the Q will expire. The Jarvan 4 still waiting in the wing. LeBlanc might get spotted out, might get engaged onto here, looking for an E-cover to come out from the Jarvan 4, while Jax engages onto Gnar in the top lane. Going to see LeBlanc looks to recall, while Jarvan 4 has opted not to engage there. Going to go from the counter jungle against the Lee Sin, while Lee Sin roams into the bottom lane. Caitlyn taking a huge amount of pressure here. This could be first blood, will be first blood. Going over to Lee Sin, flaking the onto Nami. That's going to be 2 kills for Team Feed Me Please. Taking a look down On the scoreboard, Orianna still has an advantage over LeBlanc. Sorry, Jarvan 4 also going to be in for a gank against LeBlanc, though will get her flash from her. But the flash is going to allow her to avoid the EQ combo coming up from Jarvan 4 once again. That is the Lance and Stanchion connection, which allows him for a knockup and a huge movement burst, whatever you want to call that. He drops his stanchion. If the Lance connects to it, he will teleport or slide towards that point and knocking up anything in his path. And of course, LeBlanc flashing when she did, as well as the Gnar flashing when he did, managed to avoid the knockup from that play. Again, guys, this is round 3, the semi-finals of tonight's Not So Stock Gaming Semi-Pro Tournament. We have a Team Kitty Poachers on the blue side with Team Feed Me Please on the purple side. These are two mainly Diamond-rated teams. Those are all Diamond in the solo queue, anywhere from Diamond 1 all the way up to Diamond 5. Not a single Platinum Summoner coming onto the stream so far. I'm a little bit surprised that it's been such a high skill cap in tonight's event, but still, it leads to more impressive plays, and I'm not going to complain about getting to shoutcast some awesome matches. Definitely from the stretch will not quite be long enough to connect onto the Caitlyn nor the Nami, and Jax is going to re-engage onto Gnar. In the top, he gets a decent chunk of HP down from Gnar, but Gnar will jump himself to safety. Looking into that lane, Jax has picked up a slight advantage, while in the middle, LeBlanc is looking to catch up with the Orianna. Jax re-engaging against Gnar. Gnar down to 50 HP. That's going to be a flash to secure the kill for the Jax. Is going to even out the kill scores between these two teams, but we are still seeing Kitty Poachers with roughly a 300 gold deficit under Team Feed Me Please. Again, that is a 2-4-2 kill score, but a slight gold advantage still in favor of the person. At least something to clear out. A vision ward will be engaged onto by Jarvan. 4 looking for a kill on this. Lee Sin does not quite have the damage at this early point in the game. If he had connected that EQ combo, he may have been able to secure the kill, but Lee Sin was able to avoid that once again. LeBlanc is engaging against Orianna, maybe misengaging that fight. The Ignite comes out from Orianna. That's going to be enough to get LeBlanc down to about 300 HP, but not secure the kill despite Ignite coming through there. We're going to bring ourselves back into the bottom lane here, where again, things are fairly even. Lucy Corki actually has a tiny advantage against the Caitlyn. That's going to be a death sentence onto Nami, and Lee Sin in for a gank in the bottom lane. Bubbles will connect onto Lee Sin, but he has a Q connected. That's enough to finish off the Nami. Exhaust coming out onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn at 100 HP remaining. Corki will secure that kill, while Lee Sin survives with about 200 HP, and Thresh in the same situation. Will be a 2-4-0 exchange in the bottom lane. A well-executed gank by Lee Sin, and a great initiation, I should say, by the Thresh. Jax looking to zone the Gnar off his farm in the top lane. We do a fairly decent job of that so far. Actually seeing Jax with a 20 farm advantage over Gnar, looking to make a little bit of roam into the mid lane. He's actually now going for a second sight ward placed into that Tribush. Indeed, he may go for some roam into the mid lane now, looking for potentially a blue buff as well. And we'll see exactly how that ends up playing out. This Jax being very slow about his trip through there, but he does not. Oh, he does have those first level boots. Looks like he was going to roam in, looking for some vision control. He does drop his sight ward into the pixel bush around the Baron Pit, roams back into the top lane, while Jarvan 4 initiates onto his blue. Looks like Orianna might pick that one up, while Lee Sin comes in for a gank into the bottom lane once again. Corki picks up a kill on to Nami for those initiatives. I believe Lee Sin was there just in time to get an assist from that as well. Thresh also utilizing a sweeper in front of the Dragon, but here will clear out a site ward placed down by Team Kitty Poacher. Again, this is Team Kitty Poachers on the blue side, with Team Feed Me Please on the purple side. With a name like Feed Me Please, they seem to be able to get themselves fed here. We are seeing a 5-2 kill score. Corki is hitting a 3-0-2, has a 100% kill participation. Of course, Thresh with 5 assists, also a 100% kill participation. Lee Sin also in the same situation for a team with a 2-0-3. We've seen a lot of work done in the bottom lane for the purple side of this matchup. Once again, guys, this is Feed Me Please on the purple side with Team Kitty Poachers on the blue side. Jarvan 4 coming for the gank in the mid lane will pick up the kill onto LeBlanc. We're now doing most of the work there, but Jarvan 4 will secure that kill now. A 5-2-3 kill score between these two teams. We are seeing Team Kitty Poachers look to come back into this match. Jarvan 4 and Orianna now hammering away on this mid lane outer turret. We get the turret down to about half HP. Lee Sin looking for some way to engage it, but they're waiting for that wave of minions to come through. Looking to come back into turret down to a quarter of his HP. Thresh looking to roam in mid lane. Descent's coming out, not quite able to connect on for the turret. Is still alive with about 400, maybe less health remaining on it. Jarvan 4 and Orianna waiting for a second wave of minions while Corki is succeeding in getting a little bit of pressure onto that bottom lane outer turret. Caitlyn has just now returned into the bottom lane. Corki will not succeed taking down the turret. LeBlanc now making her way into the mid lane as well. Mid lane turret not quite yet going down. Jarvan 4 makes his way into the bottom lane, looking to pick up a gank and a kill onto this Corki, potentially finally shutting down the powerhouse that Corki has been so far. Jax also looking to re-engage against Gnar in the top lane. Jax has been doing a fair amount of work for his team in the top lane here with 2 kills, while Gnar has 2 deaths, seeing a more or less reversed situation between the top and bottom lane. But with 2 champions in the bottom lane, it's worked out a little bit better for Team Feed Me Please so far. Sleeper coming out from the Thresh, looking to clear out this site ward placed down by the blue side. Will succeed, but takes a huge amount of poke from the Caitlyn. Also, Jarvan 4 making his way into the mid lane, will clear out a site ward placed down, I believe, by LeBlanc. Gnar still looking to defend this top lane turret. Is down nearly 40 farm under. Jax down to 2 kills as well. Taking a look at the goal scores at this early point in the game, Jax has already a 1,300 goals lead over Gnar, despite the goal scores between these two teams being completely even. This mid lane outer turret will now go down. Did not have much HP remaining on it, and Jarvan 4 as well as Orianna will heavily engage there. LeBlanc somehow managing to escape that fight with light, but Lee Sin has now gone down. Not quite sure where that Lee Sin death occurred, but he did go down. Looking for a Lee Sin body somewhere. Where's the Lee Sin corpse? Would have likely been in the mid lane as they were attempting to defend that mid lane outer turret, but I just don't see where it happened. I do apologize, guys. We're going to get back in the game at hand, though. Gnar looking to pick up the kill on the Jax, will get the shutdown there. A little bit of a turnaround in the top lane here. Jax sitting at 3-1-0. I guess Jax actually picked up the kill onto Lee Sin. Lee Sin maybe doing a little bit too much damage for him to escape the fight with Gnar still there, and Jarvan 4 is not quite able to secure his red buff here. Has about 200 health remaining, and red buff will reset. It's going to be an unfortunate situation for the blue side's jungler. Lee Sin potentially picking up a little bit of an advantage. No, Jarvan 4 re-engages against it, but he does heal up as he lands the smite. He was just waiting for his smite as the red buff did cancel his recall. He will succeed taking down this bread. The mechanics of red and smite saving his life there. I completely forgot about that change with the 4.20 changes. When you smite down the red buff, you will gain, I believe, 40% of your health back. In the blue buff, you gain about 40% of your mana back for the smite, and smiting down other camps gives you different sorts of benefits. One of them will allow you to spot out wards. If you walk within a certain distance, you get a oracle-like effect, while another allows you a little bit of vision control around your jungle, and the scuttle crabs in front of the dragon and baron pits allow you vision control in front of those respective pits. Corki and Thresh looking for some kills, looking for that bottom lane turret, but Nami and Caitlyn re-engage against him, and Jax will come down into the bottom lane. The box comes out from the Thresh, maybe enough to keep him alive as Flash coming through. So Caitlyn looking for a few more auto attacks here, and Nami finishes off the Thresh after Death Sentence connects onto Caitlyn, so she's not quite able to land any additional damage. Cinder coming in for the Orianna. Both ultimates coming out. They're not Cinder, but the LeBlanc coming in for the Orianna. Both ultimates coming out, and then LeBlanc is able to finish off the kill with assistance from the Lee Sin. Orianna has gone down, but that's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange so far in this fight, and we have 4 members of Team Kitty Poacher now in the bottom looking for their second turret here. Will succeed taking down that bottom lane outer turret, though Gnar could get a little bit more pressure than they're looking to give up on this top lane. Outer turret could be the first turret for his team here, looking like he may lose minions before that occurs, so he does have 4 minions remaining, and the turret has just above 1/4 of its health remaining. Jax heading back into the top lane will be a little bit too late, but no, minions have gone down. Gnar forced off of the initiative. Jax will get there in time to potentially keep that turret alive. LeBlanc also looking to recall from the mid lane here, while Orianna returns into the mid lane. Looking at the scoreboard for those mid laners, LeBlanc has picked up her first kill of the game, while Orianna has only 1 assist. They have both gone down once so far, but Orianna is about 20 farm. LeBlanc's going to be action in the top lane as Jax heavily engages onto Gnar, but Gnar re-engages back onto the action. Jax re-engages back onto Gnar. Gnar utilizes his entire kit. They're both sitting down around 300 HP. Gnar looks to re-engage. Jax re-engage as well. Both of them down to 100 HP. Jax back up to 200 HP. She picks up the kill onto Gnar in the top lane, evening out the kill score in this game. We are seeing a 7-7 kill score with those first 2 turrets going over to Team Kitty Poachers. They have a 2,000 gold lead, despite the first, if not the second, dragon as well. Over on to the purple side. Jax looking to take down this top lane outer. That will be their 3rd turret of the game as he succeeds taking down the last outer turret for his team. Now a 24, almost 25,000 gold score for the blue team, with a 22,000 gold score for the purple. That is a 3,000 gold lead for Team Kitty Poachers. Once again, guys, this is Team Feed Me Please on the purple side, with Kitty Poachers on the blue side. Seeing Jarvan and Nami look to defend this bottom lane outer turret. Caitlyn finally coming back into Jarvan, looking to re-engage at least in coming in as well for the counter. And the coming out from Nami connects onto all 3 of those purple team members. Caitlyn re-engaging onto Lee Sin. He was spotted out by a blue side sight ward, so a great play coming through from Team Kitty Poacher there. Lee Sin being spotted out the entire time throughout that engagement. We're also looking for a little bit more vision control here. Will clear out a vision ward placed down near the mid lane. A sweeper coming out from Nami. They're going to take out a sight ward placed down from the pro side as well. Jax as well as Jarvan engaging onto the dragon resistance from the Caitlyn and the Nami. Orianna coming into the lane, sort of into the pit as well here. Will be an uncontested dragon for the blue team. They are looking to secure their lead a little bit more efficiently here, seeing them do very, very well despite an early game deficiency. Jarvan using will clear out a sight ward as well. Gnar looking to get the first turret for his team will succeed taking down that top lane outer turret. We're now seeing a 3-1 turret score still in favor of Kitty Poachers. Please looking to come back into this matchup though. Looking like Orianna's going for some counter jungle here against the Lee Sin and the LeBlanc as we will come out. And believe that was from the LeBlanc, looking to keep them safe as Orianna actually succeeds in stealing away their blue buff with assistance from Jarvan. Now Jax and Nami coming in from the sides as well, looking to indeed secure their counter jungle. Jarvan re-engaging on Corki. The Valkyrie coming in from the Corki. The coming in from the Jarvan. Corki forced to flash. The coming in from the Nami will connect onto Corki, and Jax managed to finish things off there. Going to be 1 kill for 0 so far, and Jax going to continue taking down a couple of minions to get pressure against this mid lane inner turret, potentially Lee Sin forced to recall from the purple side of the jungle. We have 3 defenders from Team Feed Me Please now waiting in the mid lane to defend this mid lane inner turret. We do have 3 members of a Team Kitty Poachers looking to siege down on the turret, but they are going to fall off of their advance as Thresh, Gnar, and Lee Sin return onto the map here. Teleport coming out. I apologize. The recall coming out from the Jax will be cancelled as Thresh comes in. Train's looking to throw the distance, will not quite be able to connect. Jax looking to recall once again from that pixel bush. Caitlyn will be spotted out by a vision ward. Looks to clear out the vision ward placed down by Team Feed Me Please. Again, guys, this is Team Kitty Poachers on the blue side in our semi-finals matchup for Not So Stock Gaming's semi-pro tournament, and they're facing off against Team Feed Me Please on the purple side. Once again, this is a semi-finals matchup. That is round 3 of tonight's event. LeBlanc engaging against Jarvan 4, getting a fair amount of damage. It looks like Jarvan 4 may escape that with his life, though. Namiya coming in from this side here to keep him as safe as possible. LeBlanc looking to re-enter the mid resistance from the Thresh as well. Jax re-entering the top lane to contest against Gnar. Gnar sitting at 1-4-0. Jax with a 5-1-2 kill score is going to be fairly confident, coming in full ham against Gnar, despite both of them taking down one turret so far in this game, and there being only a 20 farm difference between those top laners. But the engine comes out from the Thresh will keep Lee Sin alive despite Orianna fairly heavily engaging him and using her ultimate, her ignite as well. Jax once again re-engaging onto Gnar, looking for the jump onto Gnar, but is not quite able to get into range. Gnar getting a few auto attacks off, as well as a boomerang coming back through onto the Jax. Gnar is down to about 400 HP. Jax back down to 300 HP as well. Double jump is coming out. Jax is going to actually miss the Gnar, and Gnar will pick up that kill. That is going to be the second kill of the game for Gnar in the top lane. A little bit of an outplay against the Jax up there. Seeing a huge team fight break out here. LeBlanc picks up the kill on Jarvan 4. Jax has goodness as well. That was to Gnar in the top lane. We have 4 members of Team Feed Me Please looking to siege into the mid, looking for their 3rd turret of the game here. They've been successfully down the top and bottom lane outer turrets, while Kitty Poachers have taken down all 3 outer turrets from the purple side of the map. That would more or less even things out. We are seeing a 10-9 kill score, a 3-2 turret score. We have Team Kitty Poachers with nearly a 3,000 gold lead over Team Feed Me Please, as we have reached the 21-minute mark in this matchup. Things are still fairly even. Team Feed Me Please looking to find their way back up to par and into an advantageous situation for themselves, while Team Kitty Poachers looking to maintain their lead and grow it as quickly as they can. Both teams doing their very, very best here not to lose this matchup, as the winners will be making their way into the finals match, looking for a first place finish should they win that match as well, while the losers make their way into the bronze match, where the very best they can do for tonight's tournament would be a 3rd place finish. Going to see a team fight breaking out in the middle lane. LeBlanc picks up a kill onto Jarvan 4 fairly quickly. Gnar taking a few turret hits here. They're again not going to be quite able to take down this mid lane outer turret. Team Kitty Poachers doing their very best to keep as many turrets as they can on the map here. We are seeing them mount a vehement defense of this mid lane turret. Jax coming back in from the top lane. Orianna making her way back into the mid lane as well, while Caitlyn and Nami are there to defend it. Jarvan 4 up in 5 more seconds, going to have a 4 versus 5 situation in favor of Team Feed Me Please. Things going towards the Dragon, but Dragon will be up in 3 more seconds. Dragon now on to the map. We are seeing blue side engage onto their 2nd Dragon of the game, while Caitlyn, Orianna, actually looks to take down a Vision Ward placed out by the purple side. We're going to have 4 members of Team Feed Me Please looking to come in. As Dragon has already gone down. The ultimate coming up from the Nami, not quite long enough to connect onto any summoners from Team Feed Me Please. On the early, we are seeing an evened out kill score, but still that 1 turret in advantage for Team Kitty Poachers. Again, that is 3 turrets to 4 Kitty Poachers over Team Feed Me Please. Kitty Poachers playing on the blue side for this matchup, with Feed Me Please playing from the purple side. This is round 3 of play for Not So Stock Gaming's semi-pro tournament, where summoners must be ranked anywhere from gold 5 to diamond 1, and this is the semi-finals. Jarvan 4 and Gnar going full ham there, Thresh will go, but Jarvan 4 has gone down as well. Jax taking a huge amount of pressure from the Tripolarized Gnar, looking to defend against the Jarvan 4, going full hand there. Not quite sure who's on which teams anymore. Apparently, Kaylin managed to shut down on 2 those while making it a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Team Kitty Poacher. We're going to see a third and fourth member of Team Feed Me Please go down that fight. Lee Sin, the only one surviving, while Nami and Janna, Nami and Caitlyn are fairly low here. Orianna fairly low as well. Lee Sin will be forced off of that engagement. Not quite able to get into range, though a single Q could have picked up the kill onto the Orianna here. Caitlyn is going to kill her Bennett onto Lee Sin. He'll be forced off of that engagement despite the Thresh coming in as well. Looking like we're going to have all 3 recalls coming out there, while Jarvan 4 is going to make his way towards that red buff camp, potentially. Looking to secure himself here, able to get a little bit of slow for his kit, as well as some additional damage coming out from the buff he'll pick up from the red camp. I apologize, he ends up going for the Raptor camp first there. An interesting choice by Jarvan 4, looking to pick up his Raptors, get as much gold as he possibly can here, potentially. Has spotted out the site ward placed down by the pro side, will clear that out and make his way onto the purple side of the map. He actually spots out a second site ward placed down by the purple team. Will not clear that one out though. No, he will return and clear out the site ward, while Jax clears out a site ward placed down into the Baron pit by Feed Me Please. Looking to engage onto the red team's blue buff. Blue buff already down to about a half of his HP. Jarvan 4 continuing the game against the Corki. LeBlanc coming in, 2 contestants with ultimate from the Jarvan 4 comes out onto the LeBlanc. His team falling off of the fight, though Nami connects her ultimate onto 2 members from Feed Me Please, and Kaylin re-engages against the Sentinel. Sentinel back down, down to a quarter feet. Jax comes in as well. Corki throwing the ultimate and will not quite be able to pick the kill. Caitlyn will end up now with the double buffs for her team. A lull in the action here. Nami looking to recall from the Corki. Will actually manage to catch her out here, though. Nami down to half HP already. Corki may be able to secure a kill. Lee Sin, however, will be the one to pick up that kill, while Corki's gotten fairly low. He may have taken a couple of turret hits there. Lee Sin now behind this mid lane outer turret. Will take a turret hit from the outer and the inner turret, and he goes down to the Caitlyn. Seeing her also getting fairly low. The boss comes out from Thresh. Jax picks up a double kill, and we're going to see a third kill going down there as Orianna finishes off Thresh. LeBlanc, the only team member from Feed Me Please, still alive here now, an 18-13 kill score in favor of Team Kitty Poacher. They're up 4 turrets to 2 as well. 10 seconds till any summoners aside from LeBlanc are available to defend. Jarvan 4 will begin face tanking that inhibitor turret, waiting for those minions to come in. Kaylin getting a fair amount of damage. She has assistance from the from the Jax and the Jarvan 4, while Jarvan 4 engages against LeBlanc. We're going to see the inhibitor going down as well. That's going to be a very successful play for Team Kitty Poachers in this semi-finals matchup. Jax being engaged onto by LeBlanc as well. He's in Corki coming in from the side as well. Jax could go down here. Valkyrie coming in from the Corki. The other guys have Corki as well, but Lee Sin will pick up that kill. We're now seeing Baron actually engaged, potentially accidentally, no, intentionally, by Feed Me Please, but they will fall off of that Baron engagement as Team Kitty Poachers come into range here. Seeing Scooby taking a little bit of pressure on the Caitlyn. Orianna also coming in. LeBlanc going to go full ham onto Orianna. LeBlanc getting very, very low here. She gets caught up by the Nami ult. All members of Team Feed Me Please getting very low here, but Jarvan 4 and Jax have both gone down. Caitlyn picks up a double clever. The other coming out from the Caitlyn will pick up the kill onto Corki as well. That will be a quadra kill for Caitlyn. Lee Sin looking to escape this fight with his life. Jarvan 4 says, Penta, please. Lee Sin makes his way towards that top lane bush. Orianna looking for the ace here. Shield coming out onto Lee Sin from the Orianna. Caitlyn deciding to push down into the mid mid lane looking for the first Nexus turret of the game, just completely ignoring Lee Sin, ignoring her potential for a penta kill. You're going to have a teleport coming in from Jax as he has just respawned onto the map. The first Nexus turret will go down. The second Nexus turret now being focused. LeBlanc as well as Thresh back onto the map. Second Nexus turret will go down. Going to focus the Nexus for Team Katie Poachers. This could be the game, or this could be a huge overextension. This will be the game. Katie Poachers emerging victorious over Team Feed Me Please in the semi-finals of tonight's Not So Stock Gaming Semi-Pro Tournament. Going to take a quick look back over at our bracket here. Looks like our other semi-finals game is still underway, so we're going to see who's playing for Abe Nguyen and Kyler Watch Over Us, and we'll actually catch the end of that matchup. While we wait for the finals to get started, I do have a Jenga baby on my friends. Looks like I have that chat window open. Perfect. Alright, Jenga, where are you? They are 24 minutes into their games. We're going to head over into this semi-finals matchup, the matchup between Abe Nguyen on the blue side, with Kyler Watch Over Us on the purple side, seeing a Masters trim coming into this lobby. Hopefully, if that's a current ranking, that's actually in the 3v3 or 5v5, as solo queue Masters are not allowed. Of course, the end of season being 3 to 4 weeks ago, it's very possible they've decayed from their Masters tier slot. Sitting currently in the Diamond tier would allow them to participate in tonight's event. Again, seeing all Diamond trimmed summoners coming into this load screen, aside from that one Masters trim sitting on the Amber Treehouse. We are about 20 minutes in this game, currently a 12-4 kill score, as well as a 3-1 turret score. We have a 5,000 gold advantage for Team Kyler Watch Over Us. Again, guys, this is Abe Nguyen on the blue side with Kyler Watch Over Us on the purple side. Synchronizes it up for a dragon here. This could be their first dragon of the game. That's going to actually be their second dragon of the game, seeing 2 dragon stacks on to the purple team, while blue side has not secured a single dragon here. Just reached the 20-minute mark of the game, so Baron has now just spawned onto the map. Again, guys, this is a 12-4 kill score, a 2-0 dragon score, and 3 turrets to 1. All of that in favor so far of Kyler Watch Over Us. This matchup is once again between a team Kyler Watch Over Us on the purple side with Abe Nguyen on the blue side. Also, that was close. I have all of my equipment plugged into one plug, and a broom was actually sitting on that cord threatening to unplug us. Hopefully we don't lose power at any point through the stream. I have moved the obstructions cords. Should be good the way they are once again. Apologize for my distraction from the game there. I did have to get up and leave the computer for one moment. We're going to see a huge team fight breaking out here. Kale has auto down, Jarvan 4 going down until the ultimate comes out from this Wrath, not quite able to connect. Not going to go full ham, will pay with her life though. Jinx goes down as well. So far a 3-for-2 trade in favor of Team Kyler Watch Over Us. Once again, guys, this is our second semi-finals matchup. We've had our first semi-finals game conclude, and we are waiting for this one to conclude for our finals match. To get itself started, the winners of this matchup will be heading into the finals round, while the losers head towards the bronze matchup. Also, looking at that turret, it is down. There's no Azir on their team. What is with that health bar? Hopefully you all saw that as well, and I am not completely retarded. Alright. Apologize, I shouldn't say words like that. Looking at this game, once again, we have a 17-7 kill score, a 3-1 turret score, and a 2-0 dragon score. Team Kyler Watch Over Us may have their Kylorius mentor watching over them, whoever this elusive or infamous Kyler may actually be. Again, guys, this is Team Abe Nguyen on the blue side. Nami engaging onto Aurelia, Aurelia looking to counter engage, but Mundo is going to come in to keep the Nami alive through that fight with Jarvan 4 also going into the top lane. Aurelia comes back in onto Nami, utilizing her ultimate though, will pick up this kill onto Nami. A very strong play coming up from there, looking to flash out over that wall. Potentially her flash is available. She re-engages, however, onto the Mundo and the Jarvan 4 also coming out from the Sarath. Sarath looking to keep the Aurelia alive there will succeed, while Ajana and LeBlanc continue the engagement on to Jarvan for Mundo, having already just gone down here. A very impressive play there from Team Kyler Watch over us on the purple side. Kayle potentially overextending here, looking at as much damage as you can onto the Serath, will fall off of that engagement as Jarvan 4 comes into range. And again, I'm seeing that mid lane inner turret still alive, but it looks like it's down. It's not attacking them, it's not showing on the map, but it does have a 0 health bar, which is really, really weird. Could be a result of us coming into the game a little bit late there in Spectator mode, just trolling us hard. Going to see Janna and LeBlanc look pressure against this top lane inner turret, though Mundo as well as the Serath potentially looking to respond to this. And speaking of these champions, I should potentially get the scoreboard reorganized for everybody. Looks like we have Kayle in jungle with Aurelia as the top lane, a Jinx, Janna, bottom lane pair, and LeBlanc in the mid lane for Team Kyler Watch over us, while we have a Mundo in the top lane with Jarvan 4 as their jungler, Serath in the mid lane, Corki and Nami as the bottom lane pair for Team Abe Nagu. And while I've been battling on Aurelia, goes a full ham on his Wrath, continues the engagement onto Nami, will pick up the double kill. He's locked down under that top lane inner turret, but Jarvan 4 does not quite have the damage to take Aurelia down. We're going to see Corki and Jarvan 4 look to make their way back in this fight, but Janna, as well as Kayle and now Jinx are arranged. Mundo coming in to make this a 3 versus 4 fight. We see Mundo take a huge amount of damage. Mundo will go down to the Kayle, while we have Aurelia who can come back into the top lane, getting minions towards this top lane inner turret. We have one siege minion, I believe 2 waves of minions there. Corki can declare that, but will not quite be able. The turret will go down. Jinx getting as much damage as she can with Corki. Corki will go down to Jinx. Jinx getting excited here now, waiting for minions to come into range onto the first inhibitor turret of the game here. Inhibitor down to half HP, but Jinx will be forced off of that pursuit. The Chompers will come out looking to stop the blue team from in and killing her, but the ultimate from Jarvan 4 will be a little bit too much. Jinx will go down despite a Q coming up from the Janna. Janna down to about 200 HP as well. If they get caught here, Janna will go down, but I don't think the Serath nor the Nami can get in range onto Janna. Janna can be onto her side of the map. Kayle looking to recall from that Tribush, was spotted out by a sight ward and exit back onto her side of the map as Nami looks to come into range. Super coming out from the blue side will clear out a sight ward placed down by Kyler Watch over us. Sweeper coming out once again there from Kyler Watch, as well as a second sight ward coming down before the sweeper is fully expired. Janna and LeBlanc succeed in taking down 2 sight wards. They are seeing huge vision control exerted by Team Abe Nagu around the Baron pair. Now 3 total sight wards as well as a vision ward placed. I believe the Scuttlecrab has gone down to one of those teams as well, though I'm not quite sure which team picked up. The Scuttlecrab looks to Janna, and Jinx will clear out the vision ward placed down by Abe Nagu, and Aurelia and Jarvan 4 will engage in the blue side of the jungle. Dragon has just gone down to Team Kyler Watch over. It's going to be their 3rd dragon of the game here. Seeing Jinx and Janna re-engage against 3 members of Team Abe Nagu. Blue buff has gone over to Abe Nagu, though. Not quite sure which of the somebody picked up. Looks like it may have been their Mundo. No, blue buff did not go down. It may have been stolen away by the Jinx. Jinx sitting with a blue and a red buff currently, I believe, did steal their blue wave. LeBlanc has her blue as well. Seeing Aurelia come in with a red buff as well. We've seen all buffs taken by the purple side of the map. Baron, however, is still available. Mundo will take a huge amount of pressure in the mid lane. We have minion pressure against this mid lane inhibitor. We could now see the first inhibitor going down. Half of his HP very quickly deleted. They have a 5-man advance coming in. Jarvan 4 utilizing the ultimate, locks down the Jinx. Also coming in from the Nami as well, but Nami is going to go down to the Aurelia. Whereas you can get human pressure from the Corki. Heal comes out from the Jinx to keep Aurelia alive. Aurelia looking to re-engage this fight as LeBlanc comes in from the side, and Chompers come out from the Jinx, stopping the fight. The turret will go down in the middle lane. Jinx gets excited, gets a huge blast onto Srath, but gets punished for that. Advanced inhibitor will be going down. Here's the ultimate from the Srath, connects only once onto Jinx as opposed to the 2, if not 3 hits he would have needed to finish her off. That is going to be a successful mid lane inhibitor for Team Kyler Watch over us. We're seeing a 26-9 kill score here, a 49-35 goal score, and a 6-1 turret score. Also, the first 3 dragons of the game have gone over to Kyler Watch over us. I do apologize for breaking the camera there. Just smack the mouse around and have it go wild. Also, Aurelia looking to recall on the top lane. Mundo looking to connect to Cleaver there. Aurelia looking to recall once again while standing in the middle of a minion wave with his W, I believe, activated, chopping them down while costing himself a tiny bit of HP. LeBlanc also engaging onto Nami, takes her down in one fell swoop. So we're coming out from the Janna will take the Sight Ward down, placed in fairly deeply into their side of the jungle from the blue team. Yeah, that is the blue side with a very defensive ward. That ward taken down over by the Janna. Seeing vision control now going definitely in favor of a Team Kyler Watch over us, as they have a vision ward placed around the Drake pit as well as around the red buff pit from Team Abe Nagoon, with a number of sight wards around the Baron pit, and only one vision ward and a couple of very defensively placed sight wards by Team Abe. Baron has been engaged onto here by Team Kyler Watch over us, while LeBlanc and Janna wait in the Wolf Camp to spot out a potential counter Baron, or Baron contest, I should say. Baron has now gone down. Janna and LeBlanc fighting against the Sarath and the Mundo. We have 3 other members from Kyler Watch over us coming into this fight after finishing off the Baron. Mundo will go down. It's going to be a 3-4-0 exchange. Kyler Watch over us is going to push down in the middle. We're seeing a 4-0 surrender vote coming out from Team Abe Nagoon. That is going to be the game, folks. That is Kyler Watch over us making their way into the finals matchup of tonight's tournament, while Abe Nagoon is heading into the bronze match where they will be facing off against Team Kitty Poachers. Our finals matchup, once again, guys, will be Team Feed Me Please playing against Team Kyler Watch over us. Actually, I apologize. I believe Kitty Poachers may have won that semifinal game. I'm going to check our match board, see if I just advanced the wrong team there. No, it was Team Feed Me Please with a round 2. No, I'm looking for a round 3 win from one of these teams. How have I forgotten, and why have they not reported their victories? This is why it is very important to report your wins or your losses. Seeing the round 3 win coming in from Kyler Watch over us. I'm going to take a quick look here, find the match history from X-Covert, see who won that game, make sure we're heading into the correct matchup. Yes, indeed, I did advance the wrong team. They're getting a member from Team Feed Me Please saying we lost. We should be in the bronze match. That was Kitty Poachers emerging victorious over Team Feed Me Please in our normally scheduled round 3 semifinals game. And we watch the remainder of the game between Abe Nagoon and Kyler Watch over us. Alright, so we are heading into our finals matchup, where we actually have Team Kyler Watch over us facing off against Kitty Poachers, and our bronze match will be Abe Nagoon playing against Team Feed Me Please. Do apologize for any confusion there, guys. Looks like I am into this finals lobby. We have all 10 of our summoners. We will be heading into our champion selection momentarily. Just waiting for both teams to state that they are ready to go. Also seeing the Amber Tea House sitting at Diamond 1, meaning he was Masters tier for the end of season but has decayed, or potentially not managed to maintain that ELO by playing games and losing, which is, I suppose, better than decaying, but still not the situation you want to be in. Again, he is now Diamond 1, meaning he is allowed to participate this evening, seeing a 1 Diamond 1 as well as 4 Diamond 2s playing on the blue side. with the purple side composed of two Diamond 1s, a Diamond 2, and two Diamond 5 summoners. For these guys with 11 games in Diamond 2, I believe those will be team rankings. They are all showing Diamond trims and are all somewhere in the Diamond tier for their solo queue ratings. We are now into champion selection, though. Alright, we're seeing Gnar as the first ban here from the blue side, and this is our finals matchup. I'll get that bracket posted back into Twitch chat momentarily. Our blue side for this matchup is Kyler Watch Over Us, with Team Kitty Poachers playing from the purple side. Kitty Poachers making their first ban tonight as Warwick. We're going to have Jarvan 4 quickly banned out by Team Kyler Watch Over Us, and Akali is going to be banned out by Kitty Poachers as well. Seeing Syndra and LeBlanc as the last bans this evening. We're also going to see the summoner lock in Aurelia for his team, while Scooby locks in, or hovers over, I should say, a Janna pick, looking for Groog N to select a champion as well here. Also a brief reminder for everybody that as we get into that spectator delay period, I will be taking a brief 3-minute or so break, and I shall return as we get into the load screen and onto the Rift for our finals matchup. Of course, I hope you guys will all stay tuned through that 3-minute silence period as we are heading into the finals match of tonight's tournament. I expect it will be an intense match indeed. We watched Team Kitty Poachers play 2, if not 3 games so far tonight, and we caught the end of the matchup where Team Kyler Watch Over Us was playing. Team Kitty Poachers did very, very well, managed to come back from behind and exert dominance against teams that have also done very well. Both of these teams are on a 3-game win streak to make their way into this finals matchup. So I'm looking forward to a very intense game. Though after the game between Kyler Watch Over Us and Abe Nguyen, if that is an indicator of a even skilled matchup, we may see Kyler Watch Over Us coming out victorious in this match. Of course, Kitty Poachers have put up a great fight, and I haven't seen any of Abe Nguyen's previous matchups, so I don't know how those went for them exactly, what the ELO and skill differences were between those two teams in the semifinals. But knowing that this is the finals matchup and that is a 3-game win streak, their skills have been tested, and I'm looking forward to at least, I don't know, a strong performance, let's say, by both teams, whether it's a routing for one or the other. Only the ban pick phase can predict, and the match itself can tell. Also, while I've been babbling on, we've had Nami and Jinx locked in for Team Kyler Watch Over Us, as well as now Malphite and Lee Sin locked in for Team Kitty Poachers. We are seeing Amber Tea House hover over a potential ribbon pick while we're waiting for a little Laura to lock in a champion as well. A little Laura will lock in Hecarim, which I believe will be their jungler, leaving Aurelia into the top lane, while the Amber Tea House will drop off of the ribbon pick, hovering over now a Twisted Fate selection, knowing that their team does need a mid laner. I apologize, Aurelia was locked in earlier on. I'm not quite sure what he was hovering over there a moment ago. I have lost my mind, apparently. The Amber Tea House now hovering over a Twisted Fate pick, though, looking for a mid lane pick here for Team Kyler Watch Over Us. Looks like Amber Tea House will lock in an Ahri pick here, leaving it to Soak to lock in the last champion for Team Kitty Poachers. We are once again getting to see Ashe hovered over, though we have not yet seen Ashe come into the game. It will be swapped out for a Lucian pick. looking like we could end up with a Lucian Janna bottom lane pair for Kitty Poachers, with Orianna in the mid lane, Malphite in the top lane, and Lee Sin as their jungler, which would be facing off against a Jinx Nami bottom lane pair from Team Kyler Watch Over Us, with Ahri in their mid lane, Aurelia as their top laner, and Hecarim in the jungle. I do hope that Aurelia and Hecarim trade those champions around, though seeing Hecarim in the top lane and Aurelia in the jungle would be quite interesting. This is the finals matchup, unless that is a practiced strategy for them. It would be... oh my... no, okay, there's the last trade. There was a two-way trade getting Hecarim onto the right champion and Aurelia onto the correct champion as well. We are going to see Aurelia in the top lane for Team Kyler Watch Over Us, while Hecarim will be their jungler, Ahri as the mid lane with Jinx and Nami making out the bottom lane pair. Though Jinx and Nami not making out, I should have phrased that a little bit better. Okay, the purple side is going to be, again, a Lucian Janna pair. That Lucian was locked in for their bottom lane with Malphite in the top lane and Orianna as their mid lane, with Lee Sin in the jungle, rounding things out. A little bit of a different jungle side from both of these junglers. Those two very strong junglers. Bottom lane has a large amount of potential as well, and both mid laners, despite a slightly different playstyle, have huge potential as well. And the top lane, again, very strong champions. Looking forward to how these guys play their champions into this matchup, as this is the finals matchup. These guys are high diamond teams. We are going to be watching Team Kyler Watch Over Us on the blue side, with Team Kitty Poachers on the purple side. But as we have reached our spectatorly period, I'm going to be taking a quick break, so stay tuned for our finals matchup in Not So Stock Gaming's Semi-Pro Tournament. Apologize for that extended absence, guys. Looks like we've gotten ourselves onto the Rift here for our finals matchup. Again, this is Team Kyler Watch Over Us on the blue side, and they're facing off against Team Kitty Poachers on the purple side. Like neither side is going to set up for a very strong invade in this finals match. We've seen invades work out for and against teams setting up for them in previous matchups. Lee Sin sitting in that Dragon Pixel Bush will not be spotted out here. No wards coming out into the river. Lucian and Janna making their way into the river as well. Orianna coming in. We could see an invade now set up for Nami and Jinx waiting in the wing with Ahri as well, while Hecarim is in the upper half. Other than Lucio, Aurelia will be forced to leash for Hecarim if an invade should occur for the purple team here. It would be a 4 versus 3 situation. Ahri making on the top half of the map would make it a 2 versus 2. Would be a great time for Lee Sin, Lucian, and Janna to make their way onto the blue side of the jungle. Nami and Jinx are separated fairly distantly as well, though it looks like Jinx and Nami may look to start on the Krug camp here. We've seen that work out as a deficit for teams in the past, though we'll see if the Nami-Jinx pair can make it work in their favor. Enter the lane with a little bit of additional farm. No, they will not wait for the Krug camp. They will make their way into the bottom lane. Enter the lane actually be for the Jinx and Lucian pair. Getting a little poke on to Ahri, while Lucian and Jinx, Lucian and Janna are still lushing for the Lee Sin. They're making the way down into the bottom lane, while the Jinx and Nami are still sitting on their side of the map. Enter lane more or less at the same time as the Lucian and Janna pair. We're going to see them pick up a fairly even farm number here. Speaking of comparing these farm numbers, I should probably reorder the scoreboard for everybody. We should almost be accurate now. And there you go, scoreboard is now intact. Looking, there's going to be a little bit of action into the bottom, but not a whole lot. Both IDCs managed to pick up 4 or 5 farm while doing a little bit of damage to their opposition, seeing Nami and Jinx regenerating back to full health, while Lucian's damage has stuck a little bit better. Janna not having a level 1 heal here. Nami and Jinx finally reaching level 2, have hit level 2 before the Janna Lucian pair. Janna gets locked down by the levels. The Chompers will connect as well. Janna down to about 150 HP. Jinx and Nami still very healthy. That's going to be first blood for the Jinx, needing a little bit of damage onto Lucian. That was a very, very strong level 2 engage for Team Kyler Watch Over Us. Ender Wigan and Little Laura, a fairly strong bottom lane pair. They seemed very coordinated in that advance. Nami landing a fairly lucky bubbles on the Janna. It did cost her her life. Alright, looking to engage on to the Mayokai here. Looking at those farm numbers, they are fairly even so far, sitting with 10 farm apiece. But looks like Aurelia is getting zoned onto her side of the map, actually now picking up a few additional farm to the Malphite. Malphite being extended as far as he is, maybe having a little bit of difficulty focusing on those minions under the turret, while Aurelia is able to pick up last hits and timing it correctly between those turret strikes. Also, Jinx getting more pressure against the Lucian in the bottom lane. Her poke will connect. Going to clear out another minion. Maybe she's picked up a full wave of minion to her advantage over Lucian. That is a 6 farm lead over Lucian at this point, getting more damage on Lucian. He's sitting about 300 HP. Janna has returned into the bottom lane. We're not seeing a bottom lane gank being executed, at least, and actually making his way into the mid lane. He has not been spotted out. Ahri looking for more damage against the Orianna. Lee Sin's Q will connect. Ahri going to flash her way to safety, though. And Lee Sin looks like he may have actually taken 1 turret hit for that engagement. Will make his way safely out of that fight, looking to either wrap it back around or make his way into the bottom lane here. Lucian and Janna have both been forced to recall, while Jinx and Nami will be recalling now as well. Lee Sin makes a ward, drops a ward into the red buff bush on the blue side of the jungle, looking to make his way towards the Raptor camp. The Raptor camp is currently down. Only the Krugs available in the bottom lane. Will make his way back onto his side of the map, as opposed to going for a second gank against the Ahri at this point. Maokai looking for as much farm as he can potentially get, is actually sitting down 5 farm under the Aurelia. Aurelia doing very well here so far. Will dash in for a siege minion kill while dashing back out without taking any kind of punishment from the Malphite. Malphite going for a little bit of vision into the river as his Warden Totem will come back up here to level 5 before the Aurelia, meaning he will hit level 6 first as well, potentially. Hecarim coming in for a gank in the mid lane, will not be able to connect onto it. I believe that was the flash coming out from Orianna, though. The Dorian's flash was burned, so Hecarim will consider that a fairly successful gank despite not getting any damage onto the Kitty Poacher's mid laner. Rather, she's going to be zoned under that turret a little bit longer with Malphite. She is doing fairly well managing these last hits, though. Still seeing her with now almost a 10 farm advantage over Malphite, despite Malphite appearing to have control in that lane. Jinx getting a bit more poke onto the Lucian at the bottom. Hecarim coming for a gank. We'll have a counter gank coming in from the Lee Sin. Lee Sin and Hecarim engaging together. Janna making her way up into the river. Will land a Q onto the Jinx. Jinx getting a failure here, but Lucian also getting a failure as well as the Lee Sin. He was about 400 health for himself. Looks like no kills are going to break out here as both junglers make their way back into the jungles, and bottom lanes will re-engage. Ultimate coming out from Orianna as she has just reached level 6. Not quite enough to kill the Ahri, but Ahri's ultimate has now just come out as well. Her taunt connects onto the Orianna Ignite. Will come out from both of those lanes, and Hecarim comes in for gank, but is not even needed. Will not quite get in range in time to pick up an assist for himself. Ahri will pick up that kill in potentially an outplay or a very luckily timed level 6 coming in for the Ahri. We are now seeing a 2-4-0 kill score in favor of Team Kyler Watch Over Us. Once again, guys, in this finals matchup, we have a Team Kyler Watch Over Us facing off against Team Kitty Poachers. Kitty Poachers playing from the purple side with Kyler Watch Over Us playing from the blue side. Looks like Malphite is finally catching up in farm to the Aurelia. His exerting a dominance in that lane, zoning Aurelia against that turret has finally paid off for him. Reaching level 7, he feels confident coming in against Aurelia. He will pick up the first kill for his team, going full ham underneath Aurelia's turret. Seeing him now 4 farm above her, and now with his first kill, Aurelia having only 1 death to rename the kills for their team, going over onto Ahri and Jinx in reverse order for that. Taking a look down this scoreboard once again, we are seeing mid laners fairly even, but Ahri does have that 1 kill advantage, while Jinx has almost a 20 farm advantage over Lucian. Has picked up the first kill as well. Q comes in, will connect onto the Jinx. The Q coming up from the Lee Sin connects up. The bubbles come out, stopping Lee Sin's event exhaust coming out onto the Jinx, while Janami and Jinx continue their advance back onto the Lucian and Lee Sin. Both those champions getting a fair low. Jinx activating the rocket, throws the Pokeball, does not quite connect it onto Lucian. Jeremy, if you got health here, and a teleport coming in from Malphite has not been spotted out. Jinx and Nami will be in trouble as Orianna has roamed into the bottom lane as well. Teleport comes through from the Aurelia into the bottom as well, but Aurelia will not be able to enter that fight. Would have had a better time staying in the top lane, verging against that top lane outer turret potentially, which Hecarim is now looking to do for his team as well, while Orianna is initiating onto the dragon with assistance from the Malphite. Lee Sin coming into the fight a little bit late, while Lucian has recalled, and Janna is looking to defend that bottom lane outer turret against an advance coming in from the Orianna. Also, we're going to have Hecarim looking to proxy farm in the top lane, getting as much pressure against that top lane outer turret from minions as he possibly can. However, that is going to allow the Malphite, Orianna, and Lee Sin pair, or trio, I should say, to succeed in taking down the first dragon of the game just before the 9-minute mark here. Tonka's player does not connect onto Orianna, though, as she manages a tiny bit of a juke there. Hecarim also goes for a bit more counter jungle against Lee Sin, clearing out the Krug camp here, as opposed to finishing off this top lane outer turret. Not quite sure how much pressure those minions would have gotten, though he did proxy farm at least 1 wave from the pro side's minions. Again, guys, this is Kyler Watch Over Us on the blue side with Team Kitty Poachers playing on the purple side. So far, we are 3-2 in kills in favor of Kitty Poacher. I believe that first dragon has went over to Team Kitty Poachers as well on the pros. They are down, however, by 500 gold under Team Kyler Watch Over Us. We are seeing Jinx with a 20 farm advantage over Lucian, Ahri with a 10 farm advantage over Orianna, and Hecarim with almost a 20 farm lead over Lee Sin, while the top lane is apparently deadlocked, with Malphite having actually 2 kills and an assist, while Aurelia has neither of those goes, and one death's going to be actually into the bottom lane. That was Lee Sin comes in for a gank, will pick up the kill on to Jinx, while Nami appears to be escaping this fight with her life, looking to defend this bottom lane. Air turret Hecarim will come in from the side as well. Lee Sin going to go full ham here. Lucian may pay for that action, though he will flash out over the wall, may escape that fight with his life. Orianna gets huge pressure onto Ahri as well. Hecarim coming in, trying to finish off the play onto Lucian. Lee Sin looking to finish off the Hecarim as well. He looking about 200 HP remaining, and Hecarim will remain alive, but the super mega death rocket coming in from Jinx that last one connects onto Janna and is just wide enough to finish off Lucian as well. A great play by Jinx, making her now 2-2-0, while Lucian is 1-1-1. She has only a 10 farm lead over Lucian after those last waves. It has picked up a kill onto him now. Also seeing Aurelia and Malphite duke it out in the top lane. Still a 4-4-3 kill score. Now with the blue side, despite being down by 1 kill, they have picked up the first turret in the mid lane, giving them a 1,000 gold lead. That is a 1-4-0 turret score in favor of Kyler Watch Over Us, while we have a 4-4-3 kill score in favor of Team Kitten Poachers. The goal score is in favor of the blue side currently. That is a 1,000 gold lead for Kyler Watch Over Us. Malphite continuing to try and exert some dominance into this top lane. Aurelia looking to actually recall from underneath that top lane turret, preventing Malphite from potentially diving her a second time here, while Hecarim is going to go full ham onto Aurelia. Lee Sin coming in for a counter gank, while the Hecarim will take one turret here. The taunt I believe just came out from there, not quite able to connect onto Orianna at maximum range. Jinx looking for this bottom lane outer turret. Janna and Lucian are there contested, while Jinx is going to get a fair amount of pressure against Lucian, getting the turret down to about a quarter of his HP as well. There's going to be more action into the mid lane. Malphite making his way into the main purple side. Pings coming out all over the bottom half of the jungle, while Ahri and Hecarim look to make their way out of that fight. Lucian and Janna will pincer on them, but Jinx and Nami come in from the side. The choppers coming through, as well as Bubbles locking down the Lee Sin. Ahri will go down in that fight, but the bottom lane turret has gone down in favor of Team Kyler Watch. I was leaving it so with a 2-0 turret score. They are now down 6 kills to 3, make that 7 kills to 3, as Hecarim will go down and will make that a 3-4-0 exchange. Nami in trouble as Lee Sin continues an engagement on her, but the exhaust comes out onto her, straight onto him, and Aurelia comes in from behind, but a kick from the Janna will be just enough to keep Lee Sin alive after Aurelia comes in. Lee Sin is surviving that with about 100 HP. Makes his way back onto his side of the map, looking to recall his way back into base and get fairly healthy. Once again, Aurelia coming back in. They're going to completely ignore the minions, looking to chase down the Lucian, Janna, and the Lee Sin, but she will stop that pursuit, making her way back towards the minions. Again, guys, we are seeing a 7-3 kill score in favor of Team Kitty Poachers, but they are down by 2 turrets currently, with a 2-0 turret score in favor of Team Kyler Watch Over Us. There is so far only a 300 gold difference between these two teams. Kitty Poachers closing the gold gap from 1,000 gold only a few minutes ago, with their last 3 kills coming in that last play. Again, guys, we are in the finals matchup for our main event tonight. Looks like our secondary event is waiting for one more semi-finals game to conclude for the finals in bronze match for that event to be. And also our bronze match is underway as well. I believe that is between Abe Naguin and the teams Please Feed Me, or Feed Me Please. Also, that bracket has been posted into Twitch for your finals matchup tonight is the teams Kyler Watch Over Us on the blue side and Kitty Poachers on the purple side. For Kitty Poachers, we are seeing Malphite do very, very well despite being down by about 5 farm under. He has 3-0-3 so far in this matchup, has nearly a 100% kill participation, missing out on only 1 assist or a kill so far in the match. We are seeing Lee Sin do fairly well as well with a 1-0-4 kill score, while Yorna has picked up 6 assists. She has died once. Lucian and Janna also both going down once. Lucian sitting with a 2-1-3 score, while Janna has picked up 5 assists and a kill for herself. Looking down the blue side of the board, already does have a CS lead over the Orianna by about 20. She is up by 1 kill as well, does not have any assist. Taking a look at the gold score, she is up about 500 gold over the Orianna. In the bottom end, the Jinx has about a 20 CS lead over the Lucian and is even in kills, but has no assist and has died 3 times. Taking a look at the gold score, she has about 300 gold over Lucian. These supports are fairly even, though it appears that Nami has roughly a 200 gold advantage. In the top lane, we have Irelia sitting down about 600 gold under the Malphite. Malphite with that 3-0-3 score is going to have a little bit of an advantage. There's going to be a team fight breaking out around the Dragon, though Janna quickly getting the lead. Hecarim will go down as well for the Janna kill. We still have 4 members of both teams contesting a potential Dragon play. The ultimate will come out from both Nami and the Malphite. Aurelia has been activated, but Aurelia will manage the shutdown onto Malphite as well as Lucian. Janna gets caught out by the poke coming in from the no, not Janna, but Orianna getting caught out by the Pokemon James will pick up a double kill before Aurelia manages to finish off. It's going to be a 3-for-3 exchange. Janna making her way back into the base and Lee Sin exiting that fight while Aurelia and Nami remain alive from Kyler watch over us. Aurelia and Janna could potentially set up for a dragon play here, but I do not believe we'll have quite enough power. Aurelia is looking to recall while Hecarim makes his way back onto the map. A purple side ward has been pinged out, as well as a second ward being pinged out by the purple side. Not sure if they're looking for a play from those bushes. The wards are sitting in order saying, hey, we've got wards here at the moment. Purple side now pinging out a potential dragon play here. There's a site ward sitting inside of that dragon pit from a team Kyler watch over us on the blue side. But it looks like Kitty Poachers may set up for a dragon play here. Would be their first dragon of the game, I believe. No, it looks like Team Kitty Poachers has not yet picked up a dragon, while Team... I apologize. Kyler watch over us has not yet picked up a dragon, while Kitty Poachers has picked up the first dragon of the game. Get dragon down to about half HP, but Kyler watch over us will respond as we have 5 members from both teams around the dragon pit. Malphite has been caught out. Malphite down about 300 HP, down to 50 HP. The Malphite will go down. Orianna now being chased down as Lucian has gone down as well. Jinx re-engaging against the Janna. Janna will go down as Jinx picks up a double kill. Alright, I believe has just finished off the Orianna as well. Only Lee Sin will begin to recall from his jungle, but Nami is looking for that kill. He is standing under a site where Aurelia coming in overall is going to be an ace for Kyler watch over us. They're now looking to pick up their first dragon of the game, sitting up 12 kills to 10, 2 turrets to 0. They have now evened out the dragon score as well. They have roughly a 4,000 gold advantage in this matchup. This could be why we saw them do so well against Abe Nguyen in the semi-finals as well. But Kitty Poachers is not quite out of this match yet. We are still pre-20 minutes, only a 3,000 gold difference, less than a 3 kill and 3 turret difference so far. Any questions, Twisha? Is this the finals? Yes, indeed, this is the finals. We are currently 12 kills to 10, 2 turrets to 0, both those in favor of Kyler watch over us. But again, Team Kitty Poachers is still putting up a fight here. We could see this sway back in favor of the purple side, or we could see the blue team manage to begin exerting dominance here. It's been a little bit of a back and forth so far in tonight's finals matchup for Not So Stock Gaming's semi-pro tournament. Both Lucian and Jinx recalling from the bottom in that lane will remain locked up, as it means both reach the river. Hecarim, however, is going to chase down Lee Sin, and Aurelia looking to re-engage from the side. The ultimate comes out from the Lee Sin, stopping Hecarim's advance here potentially. A sweeper will come out from the Hecarim. He does not spot out any sight wards placed into the pixel bush or their jungle side river bush. He will, however, come back into his side of the jungle and stand under a purple team sight ward while he looks to recall. Managed not to spot out either of the 2 sight wards placed in the jungle, nor the other one placed into the river near where he was sweeping. Alright, we'll clear out a siege minion in the top lane to re-engage against the Malphite. Malphite is potentially looking to engage onto the Aurelia. Both those summoners getting chunked down a tiny amount here, while they both look to continue farming. And looking at the scoreboard here, Aurelia is now sitting 4-1-1 with actually a 3-4-5 farm lead over the Malphite, while Malphite is still sitting 3-2-4 up from a 3-1-3 score previously. Aurelia has exerted some dominance into other lanes, picking up a few kills there, has evened things out against the Malphite, actually has a 700 gold lead over him, where she was previously behind. And Jinx, while I am slightly distracted, picks up a very quick kill onto the purple side's Janna. Purple side was looking to respond to Jinx, and she had a couple of supporters coming in for herself as as well. A team fight could have potentially broken up, but she was able to secure that kill before anybody got really into range properly. Relevant to engage onto Malphite, potentially under the turret. He will cancel his recall to stay under this turret, clear out that minion wave, and will begin to recall from once again behind that turret. No, he's going to make his way onto the towards the inner turret, utilizing his ultimate to try and get himself to safety. Orianna coming in to try and keep him safe as well. Her ultimate will come out, but not quite managed to connect onto neither the Anami or the Hecarim. Taking the ultimate coming out from the Jinx will connect onto the Orianna, but Hecarim will remain alive. Lee Sin taking a huge amount of pressure from the Ahri. From the Ahri. He will go down there. The Ignite and last amount of poke coming in from Ahri are going to be a little bit too much for him to handle, and that will be the third turret going down. To Team Kyler watch over us. They have now taken all outer turrets from Team Kitty Poacher. We're seeing them with a 5,000 gold lead here. Up 3 turrets to 0, up 14 kills to 10. They have definitely come out ahead as we have reached the 20-minute mark, though we are still fairly young into the mid-game. We'll see exactly what happens as we progress through the mid-game and into the late game here. We do have Malphite and Lucian, who both scale fairly well into the late game, though Lee Sin does fall off a tiny bit, can scale fairly well still into the mid and late games. We'll see how the Janna and Orianna perform. I believe they are fairly strong late game champions as well. Of course, they are facing off against Aurelia, who scales very, very well, as well as the Ahri. Hecarim, I believe, should do fairly well throughout the entirety of the game, and Anami is an all-time favorite support champion for many as well. Again, some very highly rated champions making their way into this game. I'm not going to count either team out of this quite yet. We are going to be looking for Kitty Poachers to start pushing down some objectives here. They did secure the first dragon, but have not managed to take any turrets quite yet. We are currently even in dragon scores, both of the teams with 1 dragon apiece. Grab Camp coming back up will tempt the Lee Sin. Looks like he will initiate and finish off that jungle camp. No, he will leave it for Lucian, but he clears it out very, very quickly, making it out towards the mid lane inner turret as we have the Nami and Ahri looking to eventually siege down into the mid lane here. Orianna quickly clearing out the majority of that minion wave, takes down the siege minion as well as her ball comes back off of the cooldowns. Hecarim offs to hand the red buff over onto his Jinx, where it can potentially be better utilized by her kit. We'll see exactly how that plays out for their team. Again, both teams doing fairly well so far in this match. We did see Kitty Poachers with an early advantage, which has now been overturned, as we have Team Kyler watch over us up by 3 turrets, up by 4 kills. However, we are still even in Dragons, and they are only up about 5,000 gold, though at the 22-minute mark, 5,000 gold is a fair-sized lead. Had this been the 30-35-minute mark, I would say it was a much closer matchup, so indeed Kyler watch over us is doing very, very well, but only a few mistakes can quickly even things out and potentially give an advantage back over to Kitty Poachers. Yes, sorry. Having trouble with team names. I've been watching them for a few rounds of playing. You'd think I'd remember the names of the team I've been streaming for the last 3 rounds, but occasionally I do stumble. Again, guys, 14 kills to 10, 3 turrets, 0, 36k to 31k gold. All of that in favor of the blue side being Team Kyler watch over us. The purple side being a Team Kitty Poachers. We are seeing a little bit of counter jungle here potentially by Team Kyler. I do not believe the blue buff is currently available, but Orianna does have one. Yes, indeed, Orianna has picked up that blue buff, so it is not available for the blue team to steal. Jinx will succeed, however, in taking down the bottom lane inner turret. That's going to be the first inner turret of the game going down right there. Team fight 1-2, and Malphite ends up in a 1 versus 2 streak. The ultimate coming up from the Orianna. The wombo combo might be enough. Ultimate comes out from the Jinx. Jinx picks up the kill onto the Orianna. Going to see a 3-for-1 exchange here. Lucian looking for one more kill here. Jinx picks up the quadra kill. We're looking for an ace. We have not seen an ace. I mean, not an ace, but a penta. We have not seen a penta all night. Aurelia refusing to engage, is looking for Jinx to finish. Now the second poke comes out from the Jinx. Lucian manages to dodge it. The penta timer may have been too long. Aurelia looking to re-engage this. Jinx probably screaming at him, no, no, don't. And there it is, folks. That is a penta kill for Jinx. That may actually be our first ever finals match pentakill. We've had 5 or 6 pentakills on stream, but I do not believe any of them have yet been in the finals match. That could be a Not So Stock Gaming first, pulled off by Ender Wigan on the Jinx for Team Kyler Watch Over Us. Orianna looking to get a little bit of vision control for her team here. Will clear out one site ward placed down by Kyler. Watch over as Q coming out from the Jan, looking to keep Lee Sin safe as he tries to clear out a vision ward placed down into the dragon side pixel bush. Nami and Hecarim looking for pressure into the mid lane here, while Janna and Orianna are looking to defend that mid lane inner turret. Malphite potentially making his way towards the top lane. Might be smart to play into the mid lane. No, we're going to have Kyler watch over setting up for a dragon play here, as opposed to taking down that mid lane inner turret. They will succeed, taking down an uncontested dragon, getting their second dragon stack of the game here. Now have a 2-for-1 dragon score, a 19-11 kill score, 4 turrets to 0 as well. That is a 7,000 gold advantage coming from that for Team Kyler Watch Over Us. Looking at the farm numbers, the top lane has been fairly even, while the mid lane has also been fairly even. Ahri picking up only a 10 farm advantage over the Orianna. She has done a little bit better than Lucian in the bottom with a 40 farm lead. Again, seeing so far a fairly even game, but slowly Kyler Watch Over Us has been picking up a lead and growing it for themselves. Kitty Poachers are going to need to find an answer for the strength coming out from the blue side in this finals matchup, or they're going to be going home in the second place tonight. Of course, second place not too shabby. Each of their final 5 would be ending up with 2,400 RP, but 2,400 RP is not the 3,200 and the Triumphant Rise skin, nor the notoriety for emerging victorious as the first place team in our Not So Stock Gaming tournaments. Purple side relieving a little bit of pressure from that mid lane inner turret will reset the mid lane. Malphite will respond to this pressure coming in from the top lane, while it looks like Team Kitty Poachers will ignore the large wave of minions coming towards their bottom lane inhibitor turret. Of course, they do have minions that are responding to that in Orianna as well as Lee Sin. Going to now make their way onto the bottom half of the map, looking to respond to that bottom lane pressure. Riley will clear out a ward placed into the Baron pit by Team Kitty Poachers. Looks like Kyler Watch Over Us could be looking for their first Baron play fairly soon. Once again, guys, we are in the finals of tonight's tournament. Currently watching Team Kyler Watch Over Us on the blue side, with Team Kitty Poachers playing on the purple side. Looks like Kyler Watch Over Us has been doing very, very well so far in this game, but Kitty Poachers are still looking for a way to turn this around, and we'll see if they can find one, or if Kyler Watch Over Us will manage to emerge victorious, as maybe Kyler was watching over them, whoever the infamous Kyler may actually be. Culling will come up from Lucian, quickly clearing out a minion coming towards that mid lane inner turret, looking to stop any siege attempts coming through from Kyler Watch Over Us. Again, guys, it is Kyler Watch Over Us on the blue side of this finals match, with Team Kitty Poachers playing on the purple side for tonight's finals. Both these teams are undefeated through 3 rounds of play, but one of them does need to lose this game. We can't have 2 winners, which is unfortunate for one team, but it does give one of them a couple of bragging rights. Looking like Lucian will try and clear out the wave as Hecarim, as well as the majority of Kyler look to continue the siege into the mid lane. Aurelia split pushing into the top lane will succeed, taking down that top lane inner turret. This mid lane turret is going to be the last inner turret now remaining on the map for Team Kitty Poachers. We're going to see if they can keep that alive, if they can keep their inhibitor turrets live in the top and bottom lanes, or if the split push and siege distraction is going to be all that this blue team needs to emerge victorious in this game. Also looking for Baron or the last dragon, or the next dragon, I should say, to be set up for one of these teams. Not seeing a timer on the dragon, so it must be at least 2 minutes until it comes up, but that's going to be a huge wombo combo coming out from Team Kitty Poachers. They also been getting timed perfectly by the Malphite and Orianna. Lucian also picking up a double kill. There will be a 3-4-0 exchange here. We're going to now have Team Kitty Poachers pick up their first turret of the game, potentially their second turret as well, depending on how hard they can push into this mid lane. Going to see them actually take the Millionaire turret, and then Aurelia being pinged out in the top lane, but Lee Sin looking to start onto the Baron here. Lee Sin will clear out the Vision Ward placed down into the Baron pit. Malphite looking to recall from behind the bush, and that Malphite potentially looking to stay now as he has spotted Hecarim. No, will continue the recall, allowing Hecarim to engage onto that Baron, but Hecarim will be forced off as Lucian re-engages on to the Hecarim as well. Malphite making the smart move there, potentially actually looking to respond to Aurelia into the top lane. Hecarim will lose his life to the Lee Sin, not quite able to steal away the Baron from Team Kitty Poachers. Aurelia also being heavily engaged on the Shark coming out from the Malphite. Will connect Nami, coming in with a heal for the looks like Aurelia will survive that fight as she was heading towards the Baron, but Malphite chasing her down, not quite successful, taking down that top lane inhibitor turret. That is a very strong play for Team Kitty Poachers. They've just put themselves back in this game. Looking at this scoreboard, we are still 5 turrets to 1, 19 kills to 15. Both of those in favor of Team Kyler Watch over. So there's only a 4,000, no 5,000, okay, 4,500 gold difference between these two teams at the 30-minute mark, which is a fairly insignificant amount of gold. Will equate to less than a full item for any of their champions. So with the Baron buff now empowering all 5 members of Team Kitty Poachers and their minions having those additional stats from the Baron changes as well, they're going to potentially be able to pick up a couple of turrets themselves. Indeed, seeing that second turret go down for them now, looking for 2 more turrets, and they're officially back even in this game if they can manage that. Also, 15 seconds until Dragon comes up. Kyler Watch over us is sitting for purple side pings are coming out towards that Dragon pit. A ward being cleared out by Kyler Watch over us. Here we have 5 members of Team Kitty Poachers looking to respond onto this potential Dragon play. 2 more seconds until Dragon is onto the map. 4 members of Kyler Watch over us in the river. Aurelia being responded onto by 3 members of Team Kitty Poachers. This could be a little bit of a misplay. Opting to move that far from the Dragon. Dragon could go down very quickly, but they will get in range in time. That's going to be a Dragon going down to the Hecarim from Kyler Watch over us, though. There will be no steal there, and I believe that is the 3rd Dragon buff going over onto Team Kyler Watch over us. Ahri will go down. It's going to cost Team Kitty Poachers 2 of their team members coming up from the down, looking to keep herself alive, but Aurelia and Hecarim are re-engaging here. That is going to potentially cost them. Kitty Poachers came back in with that huge Baron play, picking up their first turret as well. Looked like they had found the answer they needed, but losing 4 of their champions there is going to allow Kyler Watch over us to siege down into the bottom lane. I do not think Lee Sin has a chance to defend this bottom lane inhibitor against 4 members of Team Kyler Watch over the inhibitor. It will go down. I believe the inhibitor will go down as well. 5 more seconds for Malphite as well as Orianna. Blue team will fall off of this engagement. They have been successful taking the inhibitor as well as the inhibitor in the bottom lane. They are sitting with 3 Dragon stacks to 1, 6 turrets to 2, 23 kills to 16. They still have roughly a 6,000 gold lead, which isn't huge, but spawning super minions into that bottom lane is definitely going to put Kitty Poachers on the defensive again. Again, guys, this is our finals matchup for Not So Stock Gaming's semi-pro tournament. Currently watching the team Kyler Watch over us on the blue side, who is currently sitting with 23 kills and 6 turrets taking down. And they are facing off against Team Kitty Poachers on the purple side with a total of 16 kills and 2 turrets taken down. Meaning they have roughly a 7 kill disadvantage as well as 4 turrets in their deficit. They have roughly a Team Kyler Watch over us has roughly a 7,000 gold advantage over Team Kitty Poachers. Again, that is the blue side with a 7,000 gold advantage over the purple side. Now looking for their last inner turret of the game, will succeed taking down the mid lane inner turret, looking for their second inhibitor turret here, potentially going to continue that siege in the middle or make their way towards the top lane. Looking at the sweeper coming out, but it will spot out only a vision, which they could have seen whether they swept it or not. Sweeper coming out from Team Kitty Poachers does spot out a site ward placed down into the mid lane here. Lee Sin looking to assist his team while Aurelia has just been spotted out. I believe Orianna as well as Lee Sin looking to contest that. They will engage onto their buff. The red buff will go down to the Lucian. Kitty Poachers looking to continue defending this mid lane. They have, however, ignored that bottom lane. I believe there's going to be at least 2 super minions in that large wave heading towards their bottom lane, heading up their bottom lane towards their base. Purple side picking out that large wave in the bottom lane. Orianna and Janna, as well as Lee Sin, maybe Malphite heading towards the bottom lane as well. It's going to be a large response, honestly, but it will quickly get it cleared out. Going to have 4 members of Team Kyler heading into the mid lane, heading towards this mid lane inhibitor turret. Aurelia and Jinx actually going to split push into the top. It means holding a 3-man siege onto the mid lane turret. We're going to have Malphite and Orianna responding into the top lane, while Janna, Lucian, and Lee Sin are waiting around this mid lane turret. Lee Sin not quite sure where he wants to go. Malphite and Orianna in the same situation. Taunt will connect from the Arya onto the Orianna. Lee Sin jumping towards her to get a second shield at her. She's going to shield herself. I apologize, she's going to shield herself as well. Again, this is a fairly strong base defense being mounted right now by Team Kitty Poachers. Kyle Watchover is looking for their second inhibitor turret of the game, looking for their second inhibitor of the game as well, or looking for as many kills as they can pick up if they make an aggressive play here. This fight could go either way. This fight could easily throw the game, but Lucian is forced to respond into the bottom lane. That's going to give Kyler Watchovers a huge advantage in this fight. Lee Sin also getting taken out by the taunt from the Arya, loses most of his HP, but remains alive through the fight, makes his way back towards the base. Inhibitor turret down to 100 HP. Inhibitor turret will go down, coming out from the Lucian. Hecarim might get an ultimate coming out from the Orianna. I believe Malphite has utilized his ultimate as well, but there's not going to be a huge wombo combo from it this time. The ultimate coming out from the Jinx will pick up the kill on to Malphite. As she gets a double kill, she's going to be super excited. Takes a couple of turret hits, able to turn back around to focus onto this top lane inhibitor. The inhibitor will go down, looking to get her way back into the mid lane here, potentially looking for that last inhibitor as well as the last inhibitor of the game for them. We are seeing an 8-2-2 turret score, a 25-17 kill score, a 53k gold score. That is a almost 10,000 gold lead as we approach the 35 and 40 minute mark in this finals matchup. Kyler Watch Over Us may be unstoppable in tonight's tournament, though Kitty Poachers is still defending their base. We'll see if they can find some way to come back into this game. I have seen bigger throws, but not in finals matchups. Again, guys, we will see how this one finishes. I'm not counting either team out yet, but it does look quite good for the blue side. A little bit of a lull in the action. Malphite looks to relieve pressure from the top lane. Lucian looks to relieve pressure from the bottom lane. No will return back into the mid lane. I believe Lee Sin and Janna may be setting up for a Baron play, but they may not even need that. I apologize. Lee Sin and Janna may have been setting up for defense of a Baron play to be set up for Team Kyler. Sometimes I get confused by which team is on which side. It is Team Kyler Watch Over Us on the blue side, and they have exerted dominance in this game. Picking up Baron may or may not be required for them, but they will look to pick up this Baron before they try and finish the game. It will be a contested Baron. We have Lee Sin and Janna coming back into range. Baron down to about a quarter of his HP here. Darren will go down to the Hecarim. Lee Sin jumping into that pit will lose his life. There's now going to be a 4 versus 5 fight as Team Kyler Watch Over to siege down into the mid lane. The bottom inhibitor has respawned now for Team Kitty Poachers. Team Kyler Watchovers would be very smart to make their way into the top lane where there's no inhibitor, looking to make their way directly towards the Nexus turrets, but picking up the bottom inhibitor as well as this mid lane inhibitor and inhibitor would secure them a stronger laning presence or stronger game presence overall should they fail to actually finish the game in this one fell swoop. Aurelia looking to take down the bottom lane inhibitor. Malphite and Orianna looking to respond to that. Jinx has taken down the mid lane inhibitor turret. The inhibitor is now in jeopardy. Hecarim taking a fair amount of pressure, though Malphite's ultimate will connect onto both Ahri and the Jinx. Ultimate comes out from the Nami, connecting onto the Malphite and Lucian. I believe we're going to see 2 members of Team Kitty Poachers go down, as well as the Hecarim going down from Team Kyler Watch. The third member, that is going to be Lucian, going down from Team Kitty Poachers. Inhibitor in the mid lane will go. That's going to be 2 inhibitors down. The bottom lane inhibitor is still alive. The first Nexus turret goes down. Second Nexus turret goes down. That's going to be the game, folks. That is Team Kyler Watch Over Us emerging victorious in tonight's Not So Stock Gaming's semi-pro tournament. Alright, look for my continue button there. Again, guys, that is Team Kyler Watch Over Us, our first place team tonight. Going to get that affected onto the bracket momentarily and take a quick look to see where everything else is currently sitting at. Again, Kyler Watch Over Us is going to be our first place team tonight. Those 5 final 5 summers getting 3,200 RP as well as 5 Trump Rise skins. Well, 1 Triumphant Rise skin for each of them for a total of 5 Triumphant Rise skins. And the second place team, that was Team Kitty Poachers, going home with 2400 RP for each of their final 5 summoners. It also looks like our bronze match is still underway, so we will get those matches recorded onto the bracket as soon as the reports come in. Taking a look down at the secondary tournament, we'll see where things are sitting at for that one. Looks like Disaster versus Team Overfeed in their semi-finals game, and may still be underway. We'll take a quick look at that as well, make sure things are progressing as normal throughout that event. But with our main event's finals matchup now concluding, going to be concluding our tournament stream as well, with a huge thank you to all of our participants as well as our viewers. It's really not possible without any of you guys, and a huge congratulations to our top 4 teams in both events tonight. Hopefully you guys all had some fun. I know I did. This is Dark Corpse signing off. Again, a huge thank you for all of you guys coming out tonight from Not So Stock Gaming.